this was my favorite pass catcher on Arkansas. He wasn't the most talented. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, but he was the guy that I liked the most. I thought he gave the best press conference quotes, and he was the guy that I enjoyed listening to. Well, it doesn't look like he's going to be wearing that Razorback helmet anymore, unfortunately. Now, guys can always go in and come back out, but this didn't look like one of those things. I think he's going to be a commodity that some coaches are very interested in when he puts his name in the hat, which he has done, and now it's just a matter of where he ends up, Tommy.
Well, and yesterday was one of those days that for about 4 hours, it felt like the sky was falling. You had Knox enter the portal. I know we're going to get to the news of Dow Loggins, but I think it all ties together. It felt like, man, this thing is coming unraveled with football, and you just got to take a deep breath. But you worry about recruiting. Arkansas is at as high as 16, I think I'm seeing in some of the rankings, and you worry about, is this going to come apart? Because if a good portion of those tight ends leave, and listen, rankings aren't the end-all, be-all, but we know that, you got to get good players to have good records and good teams. It just feels like Sam's being backed into a corner here, and we'll see where he comes out swinging. You had the DC that's going to Auburn not come to Arkansas. That was truly a target for Sam. It just felt like nothing went right for the football program yesterday.
I expect them to lose some commits with Dow Loggins going to South Carolina. I don't know if it's going to be just the tight ends. I do expect that to come out in the coming days, that Arkansas will be losing a commit or two. I don't know who at this point in time. I wouldn't be surprised if Luke Haas ended up going either to Columbia or going to Alabama now. I don't know if he's going to end up in Fayetteville, Arkansas. We'll have to wait and see, but I think it's going to drop off a little bit.
Now, we got to remember, just because Dow Loggins is the tight ends coach, he isn't the primary recruiter on every tight end on that list. Now, I can't tell you who's done what. Arkansas is one of his territories. They all have their territories. Now, obviously, he's going to have a relationship with anyone that's coming in to play that position, but there will be others on staff, I guess, is the point that, it's not set up where the O-line coach, Cody Kennedy, doesn't go out and recruit only offensive linemen. That's not how this thing works. So hopefully the other relationships that have been built with some of these tight ends will sustain, and these guys will continue to honor their commitment that they want to be Razorbacks.
So you got to hire a defensive coordinator, you've got to hire a tight ends coach, and you got to make sure your recruits end up staying committed and signed with the University of Arkansas. Sam Pittman faces many challenges ahead in the coming weeks, and he's got to nail these hires, because the hires, as we know, really hurt Brett Bielema when he rehired guys. Had a good staff initially, which Coach Pittman had a good staff initially, and now we'll have to see what he can hire after that. Now, I know Dow Loggins is a guy that he did end up hiring after, I think he had one or two tight ends coach, but prior to that, I'm forgetting. But that is at least an example that he showed that he can hire a good recruiter at that point. And you need that. You need that for Arkansas, not just at the tight end position, but if you're going to be better than 6-6 this season, it starts with what you do on the recruiting trail, not just in high school, but the transfer portal.
Yeah, and it feels like he's facing headwinds. I guess uncertainty would be a word, with where you're headed with some of this, and just feels like there was just more things that were minuses than pluses yesterday. So, but today feels like a new day, and I think when they can get to a point where they can announce, maybe a direction you're going with defensive coordinator, and now he's, like you said, he's got this other spot to fill on his staff. Where do you go? But tells you, you got good quality people that people want as head coaches and coordinators, and no one's leaving for a step sideways or down. That's another important thing in this. Dow Loggins is not leaving to be the tight ends coach for similar money at South Carolina. Yeah, Justin Stepp left the staff, but he was going home. That made some sense. I mean, it was easy to connect those dots because of where he was from. But with this one, it's a step up. And, with Barry Odom, it's a step up. Maybe not in pay, but being a head coach. So, those things I think are important, that he's not having people leave just don't care what, just want out of here. That you can't describe any of these moves in that regard.
Yeah, I can't disagree with that, because even if it's not even a pay, it's just a better job in those situations. Did you watch any Monday Night Football last night?
No, I had dinner with you guys, and I put my eyes on it for just a second. To say I watched the game would be a stretch.
New England wins 27-13. Looks like Kyler Murray tore his ACL, but fans were wondering, was Joe Buck a little tipsy last night?
It is a cool evening in the desert, but we're getting ready to heat it up. It's the New England Patriots and the Arizona Cardinals for you.
He's spoken to Colin Cowherd before about that. Occasionally they'll have bourbon or a beer in the booth. I know he said that. And now anytime that he somewhat sounds a little slurred, which that just sounded...
didn't sound like Harry Carey.
That didn't sound like... But fans were like, is Joe Buck drunk in the booth again? But it ended up being a game where the road team, the New England Patriots, found a way to win against the Arizona Cardinals. And now Cliff Kingsbury and company... They are in a world of hurt because their starting quarterback looks like he's going to be done for the rest of the year.
That was the one thing. I didn't watch the game, but, I mean, you couldn't open your phone up and turn on social media of apps and not see Kyler Murray. That's just
non-contact, man.
It just tears you up. I mean, I'm not a Kyler Murray. We just hate to see a guy, basically have it. When you have one of these ACLs, you never know how you're going to come back. And for a player like Murray, that's just hard to watch. So. Hate that for him.
Yeah, it's not a good thing at all for what they're having to figure out. And I know that the guys before us were speaking to it a little bit this morning and kind of what they'll have to do. They don't think that he should play next season to get ready to come back. Again, ACLs are weird. Some people can recover in 6 months, others it's 9. Just it varies on the timeline, kind of like concussions.
Always think it's neat, though, how all the other players gather around. Opponents, teammates, all of that. When one of these type of injuries happen, the way players respond to other players in those moments as they're being carted off is it's kind of what it's all about, really, at the core, at the end of the day. All right, a lot more to get to here on a Toyota Tuesday edition of the Morning Rush. We're brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72, off of I-49 in Springdale. There's many reasons why you should do business with Wheels if you're thinking about trading in and trading up on the RV that you have now, or maybe you want to get into the camping game this next year. You're going to get a great price on a great brand. Those are two great reasons to check Wheels out before you make any decisions. They've got a great selection of inventory in stock, on-site storage, an outstanding service department, and it's hard not to like Leach and Chris. Great guys. They've trained a team of professionals there to make sure that your experience before the sale, when you enter their lot for the first time, going through the process, and then even afterwards is always awesome. So you're going to like it at Wheels RV. These are people that I think you're really going to like and trust when it's all said and done. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72, off of I-49 in Springdale.
All right, we're going to talk more about Chris Beard and what happened over the last couple of days in just a sec.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
Looking for a better rate of return on your savings? Arvest Bank is ready to help with great rates on certificates of deposit. For a very limited time, you can earn 2.66% APY on a 7-month CD or 3.03% APY on a 14-month CD with a minimum deposit of $10,000. Seriously, what are you waiting for? Hurry into Arvest before this deal is gone. Annual percentage yield available for a limited time only. Other rates and terms are available. Member FDIC.
Wheels RV wants you to seek out all the natural state has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and the pipes were leaking. Toilets backed up, and boy, it was reeking. Santa dropped down the chimney of brick, took one sniff, and exclaimed, "Your plumbing smells sick!" Never fear, you can call a team of pipe scholars who'll clean out your drain for just $99. Call Ashley Air and Plumbing, 479-785-1111. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a dry night.
When was the last time you look forward to seeing the dentist? Well, if it's been a while, or if you haven't had the best of experiences with dentistry, meet Marcy Van Ash McKinney Family Dentistry. Give her a call at 494-7600. They'll take care of it all. Crowns, bonding, dentures, bleaching, and cosmetic dentistry. Marcy Van Ash McKinney Family Dentistry at 807 South 21st. Call for an appointment today, 494-7600. That's 494-7600.
Make today more interesting with Betley's online sports betting action. You can bet on pro and college games with Betley, the only online sports book in Arkansas and Tennessee. And right now, every new customer can cash in on a $250 risk-free first bet. Download the Betley Sportsbook app now in the Apple and Google Play Store or visit Betley.com. With Betley, every game matters. Must be 21 or older and located in Arkansas or Tennessee to bet. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Arkansas Glass and Mirror Company has two locations, 1316 South Zero and 200 South Zero Street in Fort Smith, serving the glass and glazing needs of Fort Smith, Northwest Arkansas, and Eastern Oklahoma, commercial and residential. Tub and shower enclosures, mirrors, glass table, and countertops cut to custom size are just a few services offered by Arkansas Glass and Mirror Company. Arkansas Glass and Mirror stocks laminate glass, plexiglass, Lexan, window glass, and mirror and plate glass. For more information, call 646-4300. That's 646-4300.
Come on along. Head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains. It's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush Beer. Head for the mountains of Bush. Head for the mountains of Bush. Like beer.
Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2022. Anheuser-Busch, Busch, and Busch Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Late breaking news! Central Hydraulics has teamed up with Wacker Neuson to meet your ever-growing equipment needs. Wacker Neuson offers loaders, excavators, skid steers, telehandlers, and more. Central Hydraulics is also your Gates Hydraulic Hose Center. Stop by today at 6104 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith. Central Hydraulics, helping you move the world.
Need a little extra cash? Go see Rusty at Golden Gym Pond, 310 West Center in Greenwood. Get the money you need with loans on jewelry, guns, tools, and electronics. If you're looking for a gift, they have a large selection of jewelry to choose from, and Rusty can take care of all jewelry repair. Stop by Golden Gym Pond today, 310 West Center in Greenwood, or call 996-2792. Open 9 to 5:30 Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and 9 to 3 on Wednesday. Golden Gym Pond.
Goodbye, banking with limits. Hello, banking as it should be. The mobile apps from Arvest Bank give you the power to bank how you want, when you want. Pay bills, send and receive money, deposit checks, and lock your Arvest debit and credit cards. Need a mortgage? Get pre-qualified and track your loan's progress. You can even text your own personal banker and not have to wait on hold. With mobile apps from Arvest, say goodbye to limits and hello to possibilities. Arvest Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
State sales tax paid on every pre-owned vehicle on the lot now through Christmas Eve at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Get your state sales tax paid on every pre-owned vehicle now through Christmas Eve at Harry Robinson. You'll save hundreds, even thousands with state sales tax paid. This does not apply to previously negotiated deals. State sales tax paid on every pre-owned vehicle on the lot now through December 24th at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Arkansas by 5. They steal the inbound. Smith stole it, dunked it, and the Razorbacks lead it by 7.
The Gimme the Hogs Chuck podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Brought to you by Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. You can listen to it at hitthatline.com or wherever you hear your favorite podcasts.
All right, let's talk about Chris Beard for a little bit. This is the big news in college basketball, what he's been charged with, what Texas is saying, and the impact of this coming up.
You know, Christmas is closing in here. What are we, 12 days from today from Christmas Day? I know a lot of people are going to start Christmas gathering. When's your first one outside of work? We're having our work one Friday.
Wednesday night. Yeah, tomorrow night.
Okay, so a lot of family. I mean, I know we've got something on the 23rd, 24th, and 25th. Everybody's kind of spreading it out. So that's a lot of cooking. That's a lot of doing. So you need some help this year. Arts Barbecue to the rescue. And now's the time to call. At Thanksgiving, they're so popular because the food is so good at Arts that they booked up to the point that they were at capacity. They had to shut it down. So don't wait and say, I'll get it done the week of Christmas. May not be room for everyone. So hams, turkeys, tenderloins, beef and pork, prime ribs, anything you want to do special or different, or you just don't have the time. Mac and cheese, green beans, corn, potato salad, baked beans, all the sides they normally do, pies, rolls, all of it is available. Maybe last minute trying to throw together the company gathering where, hey, let's feed everybody lunch today. It's been a good year. Let's feed everybody. Arts can do that for you. 452-2550. So let Arts help you this holiday season. Get it all ready for that Christmas meal. Let Arts take care of your family spread this year. Arts for your family or business gathering. That's Arts Barbecue, Rogers Avenue, 452-2550.
Texas head basketball coach Chris Beard has been charged, not convicted, of assault by strangulation, suffocation, family violence. It is a third-degree felony. The statement from the University of Texas says this: the university is aware of the situation regarding Chris Beard. We are continuing to gather information and monitoring the legal process. Now, I was unaware until you mentioned it before the show that Chris Beard can be fired with cause if he is just charged with the felony. Not convicted, but charged.
Well, that's standard in most people's work agreements, particularly when you work in the public, because just going through this has caused harm or damage to the university and to the basketball program and the university in general. And so just putting yourself in a position to be charged with this. Don't be surprised, as a lot of these things, I'm going to generalize with what I'm saying here, but oftentimes in matters like these, the criminal charges end up being dropped and the prosecution does not go forward. Would not be a surprise if that's what ends up happening in this matter. But that doesn't mean Chris Beard will necessarily take his job back as head coach in a matter of days or weeks. I don't think that will be the case at all. I'll be surprised if he coaches one dribble this year, and he may be done forever at Texas. But I can't see, at the minimum, him coaching any this year. But we'll have to monitor and kind of follow this story. It would not surprise me if in the coming days and weeks we hear about no charges are filed because the victim doesn't want to move forward or some things happen to this. That is not uncommon in cases like these.
If you're Texas Athletics Director Chris DeLaconte, how do you explain to boosters and fans if you do keep him? How do you justify that decision-making?
And we don't have every bit of the facts. I mean, to say we know exactly what's going on and know all of the particulars in the matter would, it's hard to say, hey, here's the decision we should arrive at. Here's where Texas should arrive at. We don't know everything. We know what's been put out there in the initial booking and charging filings, if you will. So let's see what happens. He's got an order to stay away from the house where this happened. No. Can't have communication with the victim that's threatening in any manner. So let's see how this is moving forward, and what happens in the next 5 to 15 days will be pretty telling in where this thing's headed.
Yeah, and I don't know if Texas is going to be able to respond to this. I know they named their interim coach, and I can't remember his name, but I don't know if they're going to be a potent threat the rest of the way, not just in the Big 12, but the NCAA tournament. Maybe they are. They've got a really talented basketball team. You didn't see this firsthand, but you heard about it firsthand as Arkansas got drilled in Austin earlier this season. One of the Arkansas tie-ins, and you've got one that we'll talk about coming up, the one that I thought about initially is Ron Holland. Kid played the same high school as Anthony Black out of Duncanville, 6'8" guy, 4 or 5-star kid that ended up committing to Texas. Well, now he may rethink that commitment. He was very high in Arkansas. We'll see if that plays into this idea of, hey, where he could end up.
Well, the concern I've got right now as a Razorback fan is if this job ends up open, and I believe it will. I think Chris Beard is done at Texas. I think he's done coaching basketball for a while. I wouldn't say forever. You've got a very attractive coach sitting right there in Fayetteville. If I'm the University of Texas, why would I not have Eric Musselman on my short list of people I would target if I have an opening? So, you got a coach that has proven he can get your program to the second weekend and to the Elite Eight in a couple of ways. He develops players. He recruits at a high level. I mean, this won't be the first nor the last, and I don't know where, we're going to have to wait and see how this plays out at Texas, but at the end of the year when they're searching for a coach, Eric Musselman would be on my list if I'm Chris Delaconte, that's for sure.
You've talked about how Northwest Arkansas is a really good place to live. What do you think would be going through Danielle's mind if she had an opportunity to move and live in Austin? I mean, how much? What do you think that comparison looks like when you think about Northwest Arkansas and Austin, Texas?
Well, I mean, I can't tell you what she's thinking, but if I could tell you what a woman was thinking, I wouldn't be sitting here. But I have no idea what her perception of that job versus this, or living in Austin versus Northwest Arkansas would be. I would not have no way to answer that question. But Austin's a bigger place with more people, I believe. Someone Google Austin metro population. I believe they've probably got more people in the Austin metro than we have in our state. From a recruiting standpoint, Texas, it's a football state. University of Texas is a football school. That, to me, the things you got to weigh out is when basketball's really good, like it is now at Arkansas, it's on equal footing with football. Texas could win the national title in basketball, and they'll never be on equal footing with a 7 or 8 win football program or 6 win football program there. How much does that weigh into your decision? Million in Austin. I bet the metro is bigger. Austin is at an exploding area, so that's an attractive job to a lot of people. But no state income tax.
Hopefully not to Eric.
Well, I mean, that's just the way he's going to be sought after by people, even if it's not Texas. Brought to you by World of Wireless. 877-305-DISH is the number. A 3-year price guarantee. It's not a 3-year commitment, but a 3-year guarantee from DISH that they won't raise your price when you sign up now. Plans start at $80 a month with all your favorite channels and the best technology with a Hopper system. Also with when you look at the Hopper system, you also get those voice-activated remotes as well. That is awesome. And they can help you with that at World of Wireless. 877-305-DISH for your 3-year price lock with World of Wireless.
Talk about Dow Loggins, him going to Columbia, South Carolina when we come back.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive.
Video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building or welding experience, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay and a $500 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man. Apply today in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
Dent Source, the leader in auto hail repair for over 20 years. Our certified technicians service all vehicles and offer a lifetime warranty. Dent Source will keep you on the road with a courtesy vehicle and offer free pickup and delivery. Dent Source, now open in Fort Smith.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got puppies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports, contests, and events with first-to-market odds and lines. Find reviews and news for every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all your sports information, from live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head to BetOnline today or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50 to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's BELIEVE, BLEAV 50. That's BELIEVE, BLEAV 50. Bet online, where the game starts.
Ed Sheeran used to sing in the church choir, but now bad habits reveal his desire. The old saying goes, sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. Sow a character, reap a destiny. God knows you can't overcome. That's why the faith that saves is trusting what Jesus has already done. There's nothing else you can say or use or do. Bad habits lead to doom. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Sometimes wounds just don't heal, and when they don't, reach out to the Tulsa Wound Center. They provide chronic wound care using all the latest technologies such as hyperbaric oxygen therapy, shockwave therapy, skin substitutes, and more. When it comes to life and limb, experience matters. Make sure you are being seen and treated by an experienced and certified wound physician. Founder and medical director Dr. Lamley has been a prominent wound care and hyperbaric physician for over 15 years. 10,000 patients can't be wrong. Online at TulsaWoundCenter.com or call 918-561-6661.
Intimidator UTVs offer premium components as standard, unlike those other companies. Items such as doors, skid plates, heavy-duty frames, and comfortable seating, all at one comparable price. See why Intimidator UTVs are the best choice by visiting your local dealer, Horns Outdoor in Hot Springs, or visit hornsoutdoor.net.
Hi, I'm Mike Van Jr. with Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. You can count on my team to provide top quality pressure washing and exterior cleaning services for your property.
What all do you service?
Fence washing, gutter, or deep concrete cleaning for your home, commercial business, and more.
Do you have insurance?
Absolutely. We're covered with liability insurance, and we also use safe and effective wash methods, leaving your home or business looking brand new.
I guess I need to go to your website, mjmobilewash.com.
Or just give me a call at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
Unleash your inner detective at the 6 Foot Climb Murder Mystery Dinner. It's the ultimate murder mystery experience where you will enjoy a riveting night of conundrum and peril disguised as belly shaking, feet stomping, side-splitting laughter. Enjoy a scrumptious dinner coupled with some of the best entertainment in the Arkansas River Valley. The 6 Foot Climb is an experience you will never forget. Hosted at the Beard and Lady Inn in Chester, Arkansas. For tickets and more information, go to the6footclimb.com. Will help you find your joy in cycling.
State sales tax paid on every pre-owned vehicle on the lot now through Christmas Eve at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Get your state sales tax paid on every pre-owned vehicle now through Christmas Eve at Harry Robinson. You'll save hundreds, even thousands with state sales tax paid. This does not apply to previously negotiated deals. State sales tax paid on every pre-owned vehicle on the lot now through December 24th at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
So OU will inbound it. They got to hurry. It's going to be a 5-second violation. Walsh steals the inbound. Jordan to the other end with a thunder throwdown.
Streaming live at hitthatline.com.
A lot of highlights from that Oklahoma game. I know that Jordan Walsh had his best game of the season. Hope he continues that. This Saturday in Little Rock, he'll take on Bradley at 3 o'clock, 2:30 airtime here on ESPN Arkansas, hitthatline.com. We'll talk more about that later on in the week, but I want to talk about Dow Loggins, your tight ends coach, taking an offensive coordinator job at an SEC school in just a sec.
Hey, are you tired of constant computer issues at work? I'm just telling you, when the computers don't work, no work gets done. It's just, that's the way it is. I mean, a lot of retail establishments now, their computers are their cash registers. It tracks your inventory. For any kind of business, you just think about it. Take the computers out of it, and it's just hard for any productivity to get done. Who do you call when you have problems with that, or the router, or the hardware, or you got malware issues and need cybersecurity help? You call our buddy Daryl at Hashtag Managed IT Services, 479-802-4978. That's 802-4978. Hashtag can make it easy. They come in and make sure everything works at optimum performance, and they prevent the small problems from becoming crippling issues for your business. Hashtag Managed IT Services, 802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag technology without the headaches.
So he's going to be the new offensive coordinator at South Carolina. That was reported a little bit last week. Now it's come down the pipe, and it's actually happening. Now, Trey Knox, as you know, or maybe you're just hopping in with us this morning, has also entered the transfer portal. Maybe he ends up going with his position coach out to Columbia, or maybe he goes somewhere else. Irregardless, Sam Pittman now has to hire a new tight ends coach and a defensive coordinator. And these are important hires, not just for the recruiting process, but philosophy and a lot of things that as they look towards this next season, they need to hopefully have a better year than they did this past one.
Well, hopefully this tells us that Kendall Briles isn't going to be on the move, but I don't think this coaching hiring cycle is over by any stretch. But that was, in my mind, maybe I'm wrong about this, but that was always your safety net, at least for your offensive coordinator position, was where you were at with Dow Loggins. Now that is gone. I think hiring a tight ends coach won't be the problem. That won't be the issue. Finding someone that could be as versatile and talented as Loggins in the recruiting, especially aspect of it. That's where, I mean, I can't tell you about his technical ability in coaching tight ends, but clearly he's figured out a few things. He's coached a lot of different things over his time. He's a football coach. But more than that, he can recruit players to come to your university. He had a passion. I don't know if he'll do as well elsewhere because he had a passion and a love for this university and this state, and I think that showed up in every visit he made, every call he made, every text he made. I'm not saying he won't be passionate about South Carolina, but there's just no way it's going to be the same as Arkansas. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you got to leave and take a different path to come back to where you want to be, and that might be where he ends up. Hard to turn down. I don't know what the number will end up. Have you seen a report on what he's going to get paid at South Carolina? Neither. But he's probably going to quadruple or close to between 3 and 4 times his current salary. Hard to sit here and say, hey, you need to be loyal when someone's going to make 3 or 4 times their salary.
Yeah, and I think with Dow, and I brought this up yesterday, his track record in recruiting since he arrived at Arkansas has been really, really good. I brought up that he's the number 1 assistant recruiter on Arkansas staff, according to 24/7 Sports, top 20 in all of college football. But what I still have questions about is, can you be an offensive coordinator? Because his NFL track record is not good. Now, he's been, as I said, and as I stated yesterday, he was thrust in some crappy situations. They didn't have a lot of talent there. But the stats that he had in the 4 or 5 years of coaching are not good. It's outside like the top 20 in every single team he's been with. So, I mean, that again, that's he has
NFL stats and college stats.
And again, that's the argument that Chuck made, but you're still coaching offense. So if he has success in South Carolina, maybe he's more fit for the college mold. Some guys are more fit for college. Some guys are more fit for the NFL. We've seen it both ways. We'll have to see if he can. It's one thing to be a position coach. It is a whole new different set of responsibilities to be a coordinator. Some guys can take on that responsibility and run with it. We'll have to see if he's one of those guys at the college level because he wasn't at the NFL.
No, there's a lot more layers, a lot more involvement, a lot of other things that go on at the NFL level. You don't have the control of as much as I believe you do in the college. That's my perception. In college, the OC has as much control as the head coach will give you. The head coach is just another layer in professional sports. I don't think that's just true to football. I think it's even more, probably more prevalent in baseball than any other sport, where the general manager's involved in the everyday details. I think in some organizations it's probably that way in football. So, I would draw a line in how far I want to go and how good an OC he is based on what happened in the NFL. I understand where you're coming from. It's a fair point, but I don't think it's the end-all, be-all.
I do want to know what happens with the 3 tight end commits that they currently have coming to Arkansas. We'll see if Sam Pittman and company can kind of relay the message that this is still the right place for them to be, not just because Dow Loggins was set to be their position coach. We'll see if one of those guys ends up decommitting or if they don't have a single one that decommits. You'd like the latter to be the case, but I don't know if that's necessarily going to be it when it comes to that, or anyone else that he's recruited. Now, they have not lost a commit yet at this point. Right now, they have a top 16 class, if I remember that right, but we are getting closer to that early national signing period, and I do not, and as we've stated before, you often don't get every single commit you get, but I really don't expect them to have what they have currently leading up to actual signing day and signing period. I think they're going to lose a few.
Okay. Trying to follow all that, but that's been the pattern for Arkansas, that you get closer to signing day and you have a couple of defections and it takes your number from 16 to 24 or 16 to 28 or whatever it might end up being. That's not just to come back and say, well, this is all because Dow Loggins left. I don't know about that. I mean, you just go back and you study what's happened, at least in the recent history And that's been a problem. Arkansas never seems to be the place that someone says, you know what, the heck with Tennessee, the heck with Auburn, the heck with Texas or Oklahoma. Signing day, I'm changing my mind, changing hats. Arkansas is my place.
I think
that just. I mean, it's like 1 out of 50.
Alex Collins is the lone example
Right.
I can think of where he's like he chose Arkansas over a couple other blue blood schools that you were genuinely surprised at. We know all the story where his mom took the national signing, his national letter of intent, and that was a funny story, but that's the only one
Wasn't
that
funny at the time.
Yeah, that's the only one I can think of right now. Now, I think when you look at any college football program and you kind of just open it up to a broad spectrum, it's really difficult nowadays not only to start building a program, but some would argue it's even more difficult to sustain where you're at right now. And with the transfer portal, with NIL, with so many different factors, that's something coaches have to take on. Now, they're making the money that they have, that there are right now, because that's some of the things they have to deal with. But as you brought up, you don't have a safety net anymore at Briles leaves. The worst you could do, as you said, was Dow Loggins. You don't have that on staff currently right now.
Well, but how many schools do? I mean, that was a luxury for Arkansas. How many schools have, well, if ROC leaves, no problem. We'll plug in option B over here and roll right along. It's the continuity you get when you do that. And because of the NFL background, and you've laid out the history and the stats there, you feel like you had someone that, if this was reversed and it was Briles leaving to go to South Carolina, our mood would be much different about how we view this. If Briles leaves now it's really going to feel like the sky is falling. And there's no reason to believe he is. I'm just saying that was always your safety net there. So, but most schools don't have that anyway. That was just a temporary luxury that Sam, and he may not even, I'd be interested to know if Sam actually viewed it that way. I would be interested to hear what Kendall Briles would say openly and honestly about what Dow brought to the meeting rooms and the ideas and another set of eyes on it and all of those things. Those are the things I worry about. What are you losing there? Recruiting's one thing, and it's a hit. What are you losing in game planning and strategy? And hey, coach, you might want to think about this. Hey, how much collaboration was going on? Only those in the room and behind the scenes can answer that question.
Well, you're losing a guy in Trey Knox that had 5 touchdowns on the year that was supposedly going to be a pretty key piece heading in next season, as we thought Keytron Jackson was going to be. And now you don't have him, not just for the bowl game, which I don't know who KJ was going to throw the ball before this bowl game or before Knox's decision. Now I really don't know who he's going to throw the ball to. I mean, you don't have Knox, Keytron, Jaden. I mean, who the heck is he going to throw? Is
Rocket
Landers
Sanders?
You can only throw the ball. You can only throw the ball out of the backfield so many times.
Well, you're only going to throw it so many
Matt
times.
Landers is going to get a lot of targets in this one. I don't think he's defected or
there's other players.
The NFL draft.
There'll be some young guys that haven't been on that stat sheet that will hopefully be one to surprise you. I'm less and less hopeful about how this bowl game may go, but I think there's going to be problems with schools like the transfer portal and coaching carousel season, all of it. When you get to this level of a bowl game, where you're at with mid-tier bowls like the Liberty Bowl, the outcomes are going to be in doubt for a lot of schools that should be favored based on their seasons, but because of roster depletion, really don't have much of a chance in these games. I'm not saying Arkansas doesn't have a chance in this game, but there could be reasons, not excuses, when this thing's over.
I think Arkansas's portal number's up to 16, if I remember that right. Let's go to the phones. Welcome in Jimmy, who's in Conway. Jimmy, good morning.
Top of the morning to you, fellas. Hey, let's not lose sight of the fact that Mr. Loggins was run out of the NFL. I mean, you have to have a track record of being bad for a long time to not get another job like that, which is the case. If you look at the rankings of his offenses, I'll give him, he's a slick talker. He's a decent recruiter, good recruiter. Our tight end play has not been good. And I for one, am very thankful that he's gone. Really? I didn't want him running our offense. And if Carolina's offense is great, I'll come back on here and eat some crow. But I'm telling you, they're going in the tank. This is going to be the end of Beamer over there. I just don't see him doing anything to help them. So it's a win-win for us. We're hurting somebody in conference and getting rid of him. I'm all for it.
But how did Arkansas get better in recruiting, Jimmy? That's the question, And recruiting's where it's all at. So
well, you brought up the game planning aspect, and you brought up the safety net too. So I mean,
those are questions. I don't know. I mean, how much collaboration has been done between Loggins and Briles? How big a loss is this for Kendall Briles? I can't answer that question. No, none of us can. Only Kendall Briles and Sam Pittman can answer those questions.
So just to back up what Jimmy said and kind of what I referred to, in 2016, Dow Loggins' Chicago Bears offense averaged 17 points in the game, which was 28th. Next year, they were 29th. When he was the Dolphins OC, they were 26th. And the Jets OC, they were 31st and then 32nd in the 5 years. That's not good.
No.
So, again, and I know that you say, well, the NFL is different. We got NC Hogg from Yellville saying, well, Saban failed in the NFL. I just said it earlier. Some guys are good for the NFL. Some guys are good for college. And then there's the very unique guys like Pete Carroll who can win in college and win in the National Football League. That's very rare. So, again, track record NFL-wise for Dow Loggins as an offensive coordinator is not good. Since he's arrived at Arkansas, he's been a really good recruiter to his alma mater, and now he's going away, and we'll see if he has success. Like Jimmy said, I hope I eat crow. I hope Dow Loggins has a great track record of success with Spencer Rattler next year at South Carolina, and they're blowing the doors off people. But I have reasons and rationale to believe that I need to wait and see before I make this, he's going to have success everywhere.
It almost sounds like some of you guys are rooting for him to fail.
I'm not. I just said I hope I eat crow, and Jimmy just said the same thing there.
But
why would we? He's a former Razorback. I don't root against former Razorbacks unless they've just done something so despicable.
I don't want him to fail because I want him to be a success and come back here. Because you think Briles is going to be here forever. You think you're going to need people that have success and a track record and know this conference, and he could fit into your plans down the road. I want him to win every game except the ones against Arkansas. And I know it's cliche, but if an opening comes up equal or better from where he's at, he'll be back here. And you want guys like that this is home, and they go off and have success. You hope Barry Lunny still feels that way about this university. There's others we could list, but those are two guys we're talking about offense today that right now, would you feel comfortable if Barry Lunny came back and was your offensive coordinator? I think he's shown pretty good success at Illinois.
UTSA as well,
right?
Under Jeff Traylor.
But doing it now at a Power 5 level, and would they win 8 or 9 this year at Illinois? I mean, there's a guy you hope that, hey, when Mama calls, he comes running.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, you need guys to go out and do good things other places so that you have that network as a university, either as the AD or the head coach, when you need it. Brought to you this morning by the Kevin Hickey Law Partners. If you're building a home or you're going through a contract issue, whether it's business or personal, and things aren't working out quite the way you had them envisioned, and you think you're at a breach of contract and you need an attorney to help you sort it out, Kevin Hickey and Brad Hall can do that for you. They're the attorneys that have the experience in business contract law and matters just like this. We all know somebody who's been through, whether it's a home renovation project or purchasing a business or whatever it may be where things don't work out. What do you do now? Call Kevin or Brad, and they'll work out a time for you all to sit down and visit and go through the process. 479-434-2414 in the River Valley. In Northwest Arkansas, it's 802-6560, and coming soon to Central Arkansas as well. 434-2414 in Fort Smith, 802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas. Those numbers and more are online at kevinhickeylaw.com.
It's announced yesterday Nick Smith Jr. has been named co-SEC Freshman of the Week. From what you've seen thus far, I know Nick's been injured at points this season. Has he lived up to your expectations as the number one college prospect and the number one recruit in the country, based on what you've seen?
The number one I don't know. I don't have an opinion on that. I guess you need me to have an opinion on that. But Nick Smith, I don't think we've seen enough yet to say he's lived up to it. 3 games. How many total minutes has he played at this point? He's only played in 4? Is it 4 games or 5 now? To say he's lived up to that, I couldn't say that yet. No.
I would say the injury has kind of prevented, because that's the direction I was going to go. The injury has prevented for us from making an accurate assessment to what he's been this point. I've seen a motor which sometimes with really talented players, it goes in and out. It doesn't seem to go in and out with Nick. It seems to be always there. He's getting beat a little bit on defense. I think he'll pick that up as they continue on. He's not the same defender that Ricky is or Devo is, and I don't know if he ever will be, but there's areas of his game defensively that he would speak to and say, you know what, I'm not where I need to be yet. But I just think about what I've seen to this point, a guy that is consistently looking at his teammates, thanking them for how they're getting him the basketball, the motor I spoke to, the will to win. There's a lot of things that you like about Nick Smith Jr. to this point in time, and I want to see what type of player he can grow into. I think last week against Oklahoma and then against UNC Greensboro, we saw a guy that can take over games at points.
Let's see when you get into the rhythm of a season. And we're a few weeks away from that when you begin SEC play, and you're going to play Tuesday or Wednesday and Saturday. You come back, play Tuesday or Wednesday and Saturday. You know, you get into a flow with the season. Can he then be a guy that gives you 30-some-odd minutes? I don't think he's going to be a 40-minute-a-night guy at any point this year. I think they'd like to avoid that, just to not put the wear and tear on that knee that, you know, then it's just a chronic issue. So at that point, can he get you 20-something? I don't think he's going to be your leading scorer, but maybe he can be your second or third leading scorer and one of your top assist guys and get you a few rebounds. The thing I think you can count on with Nick Smith, and here's what you want to watch for, I think, is when these games get tight, who do they put the ball in whose hands? I think it will be Nick Smith. Who do you trust at the free throw line with a minute and a half to play and you're down 4 and you got to have these 2 free throws? Hopefully Nick Smith's that guy. So that's, to me, more valuable than what the season average or the box score always spells out. Sometimes we need to look at season averages in the last 4 or 5 minutes of games, and that's where you figure out who your best player is.
I think you said something interesting there that kind of got lost. You don't think Nick's going to be the leading scorer this year?
No, I think Anthony Black, I thought was starting out. Now I'm thinking it might be Ricky Council. You know, the way the season started and the way things went in Hawaii, I thought maybe he will be. But now that I think Nick's changed that dynamic, wouldn't surprise me to see the leading scorer be Ricky Council now that Trevin Brazil's out of the mix. Unfortunately, so. But does Nick have to be the leading scorer by average for this team to get where they want to be? I don't think so.
I don't know what scouts and GMs are really looking for certain college guys to, again, live up to what their supposed expectations or draft type or stuff is. They're hoping that Nick stays healthy the rest of the way, as does Nick and his family and the Arkansas basketball team. I think that is going to be an interesting underlying story of this basketball team is in the last minute or so who's getting the ball between Ricky and Nick, because I think Ricky has shown the coaching staff that he is more than worthy of being able to take over in certain games, as he did against Oklahoma. It was the Nick Smith show on Tuesday night. It was the Ricky Council show on Saturday. How does that dynamic play out when one or both of them are having a hot game at the same time?
And sometimes maybe you just feed the hot hand, like you say. But I think we get caught up in all this other stuff, and you know, really, usually it's a player or maybe two, but it's a play or two that wins you a ball game in SEC play. And the idea that Arkansas is going to go out and, you know, there'll be some nights they can win by 20. I don't think there's going to be many nights they lose by 20, but I think the bulk of your games are going to be decided by under 10, and it's going to be how you play in the last 4 that matter. So I wish and I'm sure that Eric Musselman has all this because they got advanced analytics and they've got more people on that bench. I don't know how they fit them all over there anymore. You know, 3 rows. That's what they need to renovate is the coaching seating over there. My goodness. They got enough people to analyze that. I guarantee if I ask Eric Musselman if he was here, hey, give us the stats in the last 4 minutes of the game, he could tell you what those averages are. And those are the numbers that I want to watch as we get into conference play, and just keep a closer eye on who does the coaching staff really trust to put the ball in whose hands and to defend their best player late in ball games. Those are the things that will be interesting in games under 10 points.
Mm-hmm. We've got some good SEC competition you get to play this season. One of the early games, I think it's January the 7th. It's a Saturday. You go to Auburn. That is going to be a tough game in the jungle. They're top 15 in the country right now. I think they're number 11 if I remember that right. You're going to have to go to Tennessee, that's not going to be an easy game at some point in the season, to Alabama. So there's some games that you'll have to play that are not going to be walks in the park. The good thing is the SEC, like I said, Alabama beats Houston over the weekend. That was probably the biggest conference win to this point. The number one team in the country goes down to an SEC foe. You're going to have quality opponents a lot this year, and chances for net rankings to rise, because I think Arkansas is at 24 right now, and they can get a chance to keep coming up once conference play starts.
They dropped in like the AP poll or one of them yesterday. Everybody, who cares? First big home game's the Alabama game, though. January 11th. Not that Missouri's not a big game, but
it's not a Saturday. It's a Wednesday, isn't it?
It's a January 11th. Yeah, is that a Wednesday or a Tuesday? I know it's not I don't have my calendar in front of me. It doesn't say on this schedule what days of the week are on there, but that's the one. You got a team that beat number one on the road this year. January 11th is a Wednesday. That's a huge ball game, and that needs to be like it was at Auburn last year. I mean, and you may end up with a team if Alabama doesn't lose a game between now and then. What did they come out in the poll yesterday? I didn't. I shouldn't just put you on the spot like that. I'm sorry.
I'll tell you in 2 seconds.
But
I should know this, honestly.
Well, I hadn't studied it that close, but you may end up with a situation where you got a top 5 team. They're what?
Number 4.
No. Bama.
4.
I was listening to him. So you could easily have a first or second ranked team come January 11th. They don't hit the skids between now and then.
So Auburn last year and then Bama this year. You thought that you'd be playing basketball, but I mean that's just I guess that's how it is nowadays. Even Alabama and Auburn have good quality basketball teams.
It's Taco Tuesday tonight. Joe's Grill and Cantina. You better get there early for the best seat, the best table. TVs will be on. I'm telling you, as we do this moving through the season, it'll be nice. The Hogs are playing on Tuesday, on Taco Tuesday. So $1 tacos all day long, lunch and dinner at Joe's, South 74th Street. When the Hogs are on TV, and they won't be this Saturday, unfortunately, but you can get half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. Taco Tuesday, Joe's Grill and Cantina, South 74th, across from Harps and Fort Smith. Hour 2 next.
Hey, it's Jan from Toyota, reminding you that Toyotathon is on. And here to help make your holidays extra magical. How? Maybe it's driving in a Tacoma in search of the perfect hill to sled down. Cruising around the neighborhood in a Camry to go caroling. Popping from store to store in a Prius to find the perfect gift.
You did it. How'd you know?
Or it could be something much more simple, like surprising loved ones in a RAV4 hybrid.
You made it! What a surprise! Bobby, you're all grown up!
And seeing their faces light up when you pull up to their home. Stop by Toyotathon and make this holiday one to remember with an exciting new Toyota, like Highlander, Corolla, Tundra, and more. It's the perfect opportunity to gather with your friends and family, both near and far.
Dealer inventory may vary. Offers are subject to change throughout Toyotathon, which ends on January 3rd. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Toyota, let's go places.
Wheels RV wants you to seek out all the natural state has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and our lips were all blue. The furnace was out, and our teeth chattered too. Santa and his elves were decking the halls. He shivered and said, "It's cold as snowballs." Never fear, you can call a team of furnace scholars who will tune up your heat for just $69. Call Ashley Air and Plumbing at 479-785-1111. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a warm night.
Sody's Wine and Spirits is making the holidays even brighter for you this year with custom gift baskets. We'll design them with a beer, wine, and spirits of your choice and pair them with a selection of boar's head cheeses and meats, specialty chocolates, or other fun gifts. And have you downloaded our new Sody's app yet? Shop our huge inventory with just a few clicks on your phone, put your order in the virtual cart, then pick it up at our drive-thru and be on your merry way. Just search Sody's in your app store to download. Happy holidays from Sody's Wine and Spirits at Phoenix Avenue and I-540 in Fort Smith.
It's getting colder outside.
Did you know you could save up to 60% on your heating bill by converting to safe, reliable natural gas from AOG? The savings can actually pay for your conversion cost. So why pay more to heat your home and water? The convenience and abundant supply of American-produced natural gas makes it the right choice. Call 784-2000 or visit AOGC.com and switch to natural gas today. AOG, energy for life.
Are you a real estate property investor looking for a better solution to manage your property? Marshall's Management Group is a locally owned, fully staffed property management company that understands your lifelong investments are not just buildings, it's your money. Marshall's Management will maximize your bottom line. Call Marshall's Management Group at 479-242-7081 for a free review of your property portfolio. Right into a new year with a better bottom line with Marshall's Management Group, 479-242-7081 or marshallsrentals.com.
Honey, I found a great new house for us to buy. Look at the photos.
Yeah? Who's gonna clean that big house?
We'll hire a housekeeper.
And who's gonna mow all that grass?
I will, on the weekends.
And who will get the kids to school?
We'll start a neighborhood carpool.
You thought of everything, didn't you?
Yep.
Except, who's gonna sell this house we're living in now?
Nick and Ellie Glidewell. nickandellie.com. Equal housing opportunity, Sagely and Edwards Realtors.
Is your sleigh a little run down from chasing Rudolph all hunting season? Is Mrs. Claus starting to complain a little bit more about the bumpy ride while you're out on the trail? The North Pole of Arkansas AMP's Little Elves are working nonstop to make sure your UTV or Jeep is exactly how you want it. Tires, wheels, suspension upgrades, audio, mirrors, all in stock. Not to mention our exclusive one-size-fits-all gift certificates. Advanced Mechanical Performance, 3201 Wheeler Avenue in Fort Smith, 434-4161.
Ho, ho, ho! Who's your Santa, Fort Smith? Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, and I'm tired of bad secret Santa gifts. So this year, I'm everyone's not-so-secret Santa. Bring me your old ride, and I'll give you up to $4,000 more than Kelley Blue Book value. That's a whole lot more for your trade. So this season, don't exchange gifts. Exchange your old ride for something nicer and newer from our huge selection of Rath road-ready vehicles, and you could get up to $4,000 more than it's worth. Keeping the car you have? Let us take care of it for you in our Meineke Car Care Center with a free winter-ready inspection. Half off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Plus, check out our inflation-beating Meineke vehicle service contracts and prepaid maintenance products. They make great stocking stuffers. So let me be your not-so-secret Santa. And you could get up to $4,000 more than Kelley Blue Book value for your old ride. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online, rathauto.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we're looking at cloudy skies throughout the day. Showers, a chance of a few thunderstorms. We could see some very heavy downpours at times. Our high this afternoon, upper 50s to low 60s. A few isolated showers or thunderstorms tonight, overnight lows in the low to mid 40s. And then we should clear to sunshine with highs in the 50s Wednesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The Gimme the Hogs Chuck podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Brought to you by Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. You can listen to it at hitthatline.com or wherever you hear your favorite podcasts.
KERX, Paris, Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your mornings.
ESPN 95.3.
KJ looking to throw. Plenty of time. Now he's running out of time. Throws it into the end zone. Complete. Touchdown, Arkansas. Trey Knox.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
40-year-old adolescents, felons, power drinkers, and trustees of modern chemistry.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Were you going to have a party here tonight, son? I don't know what that was all about.
Streaming live from
hitthatline.com.
That seducer and spoiler must be stopped. He's extremely dangerous.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? Stop what you're doing and listen.
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Yes, sir. All right, hour number 2 of the Morning Rush on a Toyota Tuesday. Trey Knox, you won't be hearing a highlight that Chuck Barrett's calling next season because he has entered the transfer portal as of yesterday, has not finalized the destination, at least publicly. Maybe privately he knows where he's going. We'll talk about that impact coming up and also his tight ends coach has entered the portal as well, going to South Carolina.
Hey, brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. Don't just survive the holidays, thrive. Everybody's stressed out this time of the year. Not enough time to get everything done. Soak away the stress and the soreness that comes with the busiest time of the year with a brand new hot spring spa from Burton's. Treat yourself this holiday season. You've always thought about having a hot tub on your back porch. Well, now's the time. And here's why you choose Burton's. Been around for more than 40 years in business, sold over 8,000 spas in their history. And when you buy from Burton's, delivery, setup, all of it's included in the price. So, when you're evaluating, well, I found this one online. Well, yeah. How are you going to get it where it needs to go? Who's going to take care of the electrical? Who's going to show you how to use it? All of those things start to become the questions that hopefully you got answered before the delivery truck backs up to your driveway and you got no help. They got prices starting at $34.99, payments as low as $47 a month. Burton Pools and Spas with 2 great locations, Springdale and in Fort Smith, and always online at burtonpools.com.
Is it safe to assume that Trey Knox, pretty good odds he goes to Columbia, South Carolina? They lost Austin Stogner. They lost Jaheim Bell. They need a tight end. His tight ends coach is going there. Is that a guess?
I think we're drawing a conclusion there that, it may end up being that way, but I don't think, you think that's why he entered the portal, is to follow?
I don't know why.
Keep in mind, we had a texter say this earlier, and I think this is right because he came in as a wide receiver. Justin Stepp, who's there now as their wide receivers coach, was involved, or at least maybe the primary recruiter on Trey Knox coming to Arkansas. That makes sense to me, at least, that the dots connect.
Trey, TQ Jackson, Shamar Nash, and Burks.
Finding a level of comfort with Justin Stepp there, Dal Loggins as your OC, I could see why you could draw that conclusion. May not pan out that way at all. We'll see.
I think that the step aspect that you brought up that was told to me last night, I just now remembered it this morning. I think that's a great angle that people should be thinking about on this. Just to put in perspective where Trey Knox is, he was 5th amongst SEC tight ends this season with his stats. Nearly 300 yards, 5 touchdowns, only had 26 catches on the year. 4-star out of high school. The step that Tommy brought up, Justin Stepp, the fact that he got 4 stars out of high school, TQ Jackson against Shamar Nash, Burks, and then him. That was a big deal at the time. And now there's not any of those guys on campus anymore. Now it would be, I guess, year 5 at this point in time. But this is what kind of where you're at right now. We kind of joked about, I don't know who Traylon Burks is going to throw the ball to at the bowl game, but it won't be Trey Knox, Tommy.
Nope. And again, I'm beginning to say, what should we really expect in this bowl game? I've been talking about this for a week or two now. What should really be our expectations with everything considered in this game? I'm not throwing in the towel or anything of that nature, but we saw the reverse of this last year. We saw a game where 2 years ago, TCU decided, hey, we don't want to play. Now, COVID was a bit of a different issue, but I think with portal and COVID and everything, then they knew they were going to get their tails kicked. And I'm not suggesting Arkansas should not go. Don't mishear me. I'm just saying Penn State showed up to a game ill-equipped to compete with the Razorbacks last year and got their fannies kicked. They're in the Rose Bowl this year. Arkansas may show up ill-equipped to beat Kansas. And we don't all need to say the sky's falling, Sam should be fired, fire them all if that happens. Fire them all. Well, there's going to be some things that are going to be a challenge for the Razorbacks in this bowl game. Hopefully they can overcome it. Kansas is not a juggernaut. Arkansas was tough on Penn State last year. I hope we're not going to see karma come back in that equation.
You brought up the idea that Arkansas should just be able to run the football on Kansas. They have not been good against the run this year. I hope it's the case like Penn State last year where you don't even really have to pass. Because if you remember, Arkansas's passing game was dreadful in that bowl game. They just ran all over Penn State in the second half. You didn't have to worry about it. KJ threw 2 picks, if you remember that correctly. And he didn't have Burks, and that was his first adjustment really without him. But they were bad last year throwing the football in that game. I don't know if I can say that they're going to be bad. I'm assuming the passing game's not going to be good in this bowl game based on everything you just lost. Hopefully, you just pound Kansas into oblivion because you got SEC offensive linemen and they don't have SEC defensive linemen, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I think that's the way you win the football game is you control the clock, you have it 35, 38 minutes to the ball game, and you just try to grind it on them. And Kendall Briles likes to run that tempo, and tempo's part of how he's worn down opponents. But I'd love to see Arkansas just, there's been multiple 10, 12, 13. I think there was one at Provo against BYU that was, a 14-play 75-yard drive or something like that took 10 minutes off the clock.
Fourth quarter, yep.
Yeah, you need those kind of drives, I think, just to control this game against Kansas. And you're not going to have Stromberg up front. Hopefully you can put a line that can open some holes. Rocket Sanders has got to have a great day. But, can Kansas load the box and stop you? That's going to be the ball game, at least from 10,000 feet right now, a couple of weeks out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if they do load the box, you can still run on blitzes.
2 weeks from tomorrow.
That's crazy how quick it's coming up and approaching. You were talking about the Christmas
Tomorrow's
countdown.
the 14th. Yeah, it's 2 weeks from tomorrow.
That's the bowl down. And again, that day is going to be nice because you'll get to see not only the Razorbacks take on the Kansas Jayhawks, you'll also get a chance to see Arkansas basketball in its first conference opener on the road against LSU. Man, it sure seems like the Razorbacks start on the road in basketball every year. And LSU's not a premier opponent this year. I don't think McMahon or however you say his name is going to have. They're going to have a great season, but it sure seems like they start on the road nearly every year.
I'm fine with that because generally you start conference play on a weeknight.
You'd rather have.
I'd rather have an extra Saturday home game.
I think that's fair on that point. I'm excited for, again, conference basketball, but I am excited for this bowl game. I do wonder what the actual rumblings are in the athletic department and the coaching staff and in those rooms right now, what people are actually thinking with losing your defensive coordinator, losing a bunch of guys to the portal, losing your tight ends coach. If they're treating it as, well, this is happening everywhere, or if they're treating it as, well, we have an actual couple of issues that we better get fixed, or 2023 is not going to be a fun season at all.
Listen, you pay Sam Pittman to not be Chicken Little. You can't have the sky falling. These are issues that, you're paid to stand at the wheel, to be the captain of the boat, to deal with it. And Sam will. I mean, he's not lost a coach to a lateral move. All of these are clear promotions within the industry. Mm-hmm. I understand the money aspect with Barry Odom's not a step up, but he's becoming a head coach again. Offensive coordinator versus tight ends coach. On the offensive side of the ball, the tight ends coach is, bottom rung, so to speak. It's always generally your last and least important hire in a lot of cases. It's usually the least experienced coach. Wasn't with Arkansas with Dow Loggins, but in the past, that's how it has worked with a lot of places. And they have to work well with the offensive line coach. So I think you'll see probably a young up-and-comer that'll make less money at tight end coach, and you hope to get an experienced, established name at defensive coordinator. How they reestablish or spread out the coaching salary pool will be interesting as we move forward. Hey, anytime we're going to Northwest Arkansas and need a place to stay, Ty and I always choose the Inn at the Mill. And if you're in Russellville or Clarksville or Hot Springs or Mountain Home listening and you need to come to Northwest Arkansas and and stay for a few days, the Inn at the Mill is the spot. Located conveniently off I-49 at the Johnson exit, it is right in the heart of everything in Northwest Arkansas. Whether you're going to the Amp, Crystal Bridges, or going to the ball game, it is easy and convenient at the Inn at the Mill. I love the rooms. They're oversized. They're spacious. It's a historic property. The old mill is just kind of neat to sit around the water there and have a business meeting or just relax and have a cup of coffee. 443-1800 is their number to make a reservation. Get the personal touch. They love their guests at the Inn at the Mill. 443-1800 or online at inatthemill.com.
Get into our Morning Rush Daily Question next.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
Don't just survive the holidays, thrive. Treat yourself to a new hot tub to soak away the stress and soreness that comes with the busiest time of the year. With over 8,000 spas sold, no one else matches the sales and service that comes with a Burton hot tub. Burton's has over 80 hot tubs in stock, starting at $34.99 and payments as low as $47 a month with approved credit. Visit Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and Fort Smith and start hot tubbing right away. Visit BurtonPools.com for all the details.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and the pipes were leaking. Toilets backed up, and boy, it was reeking. Santa dropped down the chimney of brick, took one sniff, and exclaimed, "Your plumbing smells sick!" Never fear, you can call a team of pipe scholars who'll clean out your drain for just $99. Call Ashley Air and Plumbing, 479-785-1111. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a dry night.
Wheels RV wants you to seek out all the natural state has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
It's time to plan the Christmas party for your business or family, and the place to make it a special and memorable time is at Doe's Eat Place in Fort Smith. Award-winning steaks and atmosphere, along with the largest wine selection in the River Valley, await your memorable evening. If you're thinking about what to get that hard-to-impress boss or family member, gift certificates from Doe's are sure to impress and bring a smile to their face. Don't delay making your reservations. Call Doe's Eat Place at 784-9111. That's 784-9111. Doe's Eat Place, 422 3rd Street. Open 5 till 9 Monday through Thursday and 5 till 10 Friday and Saturday.
State sales tax paid on every pre-owned vehicle on the lot now through Christmas Eve at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Get your state sales tax paid on every pre-owned vehicle now through Christmas Eve at Harry Robinson. You'll save hundreds, even thousands with state sales tax paid. This does not apply to previously negotiated deals. State sales tax paid on every pre-owned vehicle on the lot now through December 24th at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Frank Grove Furniture December tax-free Christmas sale. Frank Grove Furniture carries made in the USA furniture, including Catnapper, Jackson, and Best Home Furnishings, just to name a few. Frank Grove Furniture also carries made in the USA Speed Queen washers and dryers. And December is the month to buy. They have slashed their prices more than ever before and no sales tax. Frank Grove Furniture wants to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and celebrate our Savior, Jesus Christ. Frank Grove Furniture, best seats in the house, 405 4th Street, Farley.
Don't just survive the holidays, thrive with a hot spring spa from Burton Pools and Spas. Hi, Tommy Kraft here. Treat yourself this holiday season to a new hot tub to soak away the stress and the soreness that comes with the busiest time of the year. You know, it was about a year ago, we made the decision at our house to get a hot tub, and we only went with one brand, and that was a hot spring spa. And the only place we were going to buy was Burton Pools and Spas. There were a few reasons. They've sold over 8,000 spas. They know what they're doing. And Burton's has been around for 44 years. We know they'll be there to help take care of us. When it comes to sales and service, no one can match Burton Pools and Spas. And right now, the selection is great as well. Burton's has over 80 hot tubs in stock today, starting at $34.99, and payments as low as $47 a month with approved credit. Find the perfect hot tub for you and your family at Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and in Fort Smith, and online at burtonpools.com.
You have a job, kids, and a million things to do in no time, and now your car needs to be serviced or fixed or tires? Jody'sAuto.com will make your life easier. Free shuttle service. Pickup delivery service free when you spend $75 and only $10 if less. Jody'sAuto.com will make your life easier and take better care of your vehicle at the same time. Hi, Kim Bircher. See, the thing is, Jody'sAuto.com does everything. Everyday oil change specials. Tires are price matched, including the warehouse clubs and all the best brands. Any services, brakes, alignments, all the way to engines, and any maintenance. You are trusting your vehicle to a local company in business for 37 years. Voted best of the best time and time again. Honesty and customer service is always our number one goal. We will make your life much easier. Jody'sAuto.com. JODYS auto.com.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag Technology without the headache.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. It's time for the Red River Dodge Morning Rush Daily Question. Red River Dodge in Heber Springs, Arkansas's #1 Ram dealer. Log on at redriverdodge.com.
Your Honor, I'd like to ask for a recess.
I'd like an answer to the question, Judge.
The court will wait for an answer.
All right, Tommy, it's your favorite day. It's National Ice Cream Day. Waffle cone and milkshake. You not like ice cream?
I mean, who doesn't like ice cream? I mean, you got a psychopath not to like it, but I mean, it's not like my favorite day.
What's your favorite dessert? Is it
Dessert?
A pie over ice
Probably
cream?
something peach, but I don't know. You've had this. My wife's Kentucky butter cake is probably a sock it to me cake or the Kentucky butter cake. It's just a amped up yellow cake would be my #1. But ice cream, man.
You've had peach ice cream, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Best actually ice cream I've ever had. Cookie dough is my traditional favorite.
Go to going through Brahms. I'm buying. What you getting?
The whole menu. Probably.
That's how he does me, folks. Is if I'm buying, he orders from the right. If he's buying, it's from the left.
100%. That's how every good employee should do with their employer. I mean, I'm not going to
find out a lot about people in these moments.
I'm not going to order less than I normally would and order what I usually order. I'm like, why would you want me to order less than what I usually do? I'd say typical is cookie dough, and if they have cinnamon ice cream, I'm a big cinnamon guy.
Give me a single scoop waffle cone peanut butter cup if I'm rolling through Brahms. That'd probably be my go-to ice cream.
Okay, got some text here. BE says white chocolate mousse and a waffle cone from the old TCBY. Tyler says pralines and cream. That's a good one, Tyler. Yep. Titus says homemade banana ice cream. Can't say I've ever made homemade banana. Have done.
You ever made homemade?
I have. We had that old ice cream maker. You spin it or whatever. It's been. How old am I? 28. It's been 20 years since I've done something like that. But yeah.
Did you hand crank it or was it electric?
No, it was 20 years ago. Hand cranked it.
Well, they had electric motors have been around a little longer than 20 years. I've never hand cranked the ice cream. So.
You haven't?
No.
You saw me doing this motion. Yeah,
that's not how you would do it. You would do it like that.
Sorry. Yeah, again, it's been 20 years. I don't remember, but yeah,
my dad talked about that. Because it's slow and steady. You got to But yeah, that's how they made it when they didn't have all that in the 50s and 60s. But we'll make homemade ice cream a couple times a year. I think it's fun.
Do the kids enjoy the?
I enjoy eating it. They don't have any. My kids are like you. Y'all are almost the same. You're 28 and they're a little older than 8. Hey, y'all do all the work. I'll just tell me when it's time to eat. That's kind of the way that goes.
I don't want to get in the way.
It's because you don't know what to do.
I offer to help. Around Thanksgiving and stuff.
Fresh strawberry homemade ice cream. If you got like you've been to there used to be a strawberry place over here and on the other side of the Oklahoma border. You go and get fresh strawberries and then you make ice cream out of that.
It's hard to beat.
Then you take that and you put over a little piece of cake or some cobbler or something. Man,
it's good to go. Yeah. Well, again, it's National Ice Cream Day, so if you have a favorite ice cream, you can text us in at 877-377-6963. We're going to talk with Bruce.
Why is Ice Cream Day in December? This makes no sense. It's December the 13th. Listen, why is the Ice Cream Day not July 13th?
I don't know
June 13th.
Who assigns these holidays at what points of the year, because we've had this discussion before where the holiday is landed on a weird day. We don't understand it. And I'm with you, man. The fact that it's December the 13th and it's National Ice Cream Day makes no sense.
I mean, is there ever a point where it's just too cold to eat ice cream?
Is there ever a point where it's just too cold to eat ice cream?
That's what I just asked.
No, I don't think so. And it's the same way with is it ever too early to eat chili? I don't abide by that rule.
Hog Mafia says huckleberry ice cream from the Kings River at Marble. Anything at Kings River. Of course, I don't know. It'd have to be fried almost at Kings River, but
I haven't had fried ice cream.
Every time I go into Kings River, I never get to the ice cream. I can't get past the chicken strips and all the other stuff and the case of fried goodness. So I applaud you, Hog Mafia, for even getting to the ice cream there. I've never gotten past the fried stuff.
Rocky Road, yeah. There's a bunch of good texts. So
anything Butterfinger is good with me. All right, that's your Red River Dodge Morning Rush Daily Question. Red River Dodge in Heber Springs, Arkansas's #1 Ram dealer. Log on at redriverdodge.com. Another one, and then we'll get to the important stuff here. If you get to Mount Ida, and you can get one of these, I think at Brahms, but Mount Ida at the Darriette, you can get a Heath mixer. So, and I've become a huge fan of the last bars. So they got the crushed up Heath bars, put it in the ice cream, mix it up.
That's the way to go.
If you like Heath bar at all, that's the ticket.
Okay. You brought up Eric Musselman yesterday when we were at dinner, Tommy, and I had not thought about this until you brought it up at dinner. And this is something that you all as Razorback basketball fans should be thinking about with what we assume is going to be an open Texas job. And again, I hope Tommy didn't will it to existence last night when we were at dinner, but it honestly made sense. The Texas job comes open, a lot of money, a lot of talent in Texas. And you think Arkansas fans should be at least worried about Eric Musselman?
The job, I've said this for a couple of years, the job you should worry about more than anything, to me, in my mind, and Eric's never whispered this in my ear and say, hey, here's the one I want. But just deductive reasoning tells me UCLA should be the job you worry about. Mick Cronin's out there. He makes, I think, just north of $5 million a year. It's a blue blood giant that has had some success, inconsistent success, I think you would say, at the highest levels. But the right coach, the right setup. Now, I wonder about going to the Big Ten, how that's going to work out for basketball with all the travel and all that. We'll have to wait and see. But that's the job that, boy, that comes open, I'd really be sweating bullets if I'm an Arkansas fan. Texas, though, is, on that next level. Would you say the Texas program is a more coveted job than the Arkansas program? Remove your bias.
I really don't think so. I think if you talk to most people, and again, maybe Tommy just was clear about that, remove your bias. I honestly think the Arkansas job is a better job because of fan support. I know there's in-state basketball talent in Texas. You've got 2 players on this roster. Jordan's from DeSoto, and then Anthony went to Duncanville. I'm not going to sit here and tell you there's not great basketball talent in Texas, but there is. They just built the Moody Center. Right. It's a great arena. Say what you want about Texas. It's a fantastic facility. I've watched it on TV. It looks like a great place. Now, I just can't. Again, you asked me to remove. I honestly don't think, if it is, it's only slap, but I think the Arkansas job's better. I really do.
I think it's hard to make a case that Texas is decidedly a better program than Arkansas. But you look at facilities, you look at recruiting base, you look at Austin versus Fayetteville, all of these things. I could see where one would come to that conclusion. I think it's interesting, and I think Chris Beard has coached his last dribble at Texas. We'll see where Chris Delaconte goes from there. And obviously nothing I don't believe is going to happen. It'd be very unlikely for anything to happen other than an interim situation between now and the end of the season.
Yep. Let's talk with Bruce Stanton of Pradco Fishing about this morning. Bruce, what did you make of the news that Chris Beard has been dealing with the last day or so?
Yeah, good morning, guys. You just hate it. I know there's a lot of conflict in life. We just need to learn to love and respect people. You hate it when you hear things like this happen. Chris Beard's a great basketball coach, but again, we don't know the whole story. It'll all come out, but you just hate it. It's hard to think that if he did all those things that he could continue being a basketball coach responsible for leading the program, young men, interacting with boosters. It's you just can't have that. And no matter how you feel about the University of Texas, you hate it for who it happened to, and you hate it for the guy ruining his career if it actually turns out he did this.
Yeah, we'll have to just kind of see how all of this unfolds over the next week or 10 days. And but I think certainly for this season he's done. He may be done forever at Texas. Mm-hmm. I think it's a very slim path for him to come back and resume duties as head coach at Texas.
This is from his attorney via CBS Austin. Coach Beard is 100% innocent of these charges. He should have never been arrested. The complainant wants him released immediately and all charges dismissed. It is truly inconceivable.
Well, that's what lawyers get paid to say. So, we'll see how that – but, Bruce, just the embarrassment of the situation for Texas, the concern for the victim involved, all of these, I just – there's going to have to be some rehabilitation personally and professionally for Chris Beard to return to coaching basketball at any level.
Yeah, and I guess this is, especially in sports media, I think everybody just has to pump the brakes a little bit. But, it's easy to, be critical of a guy when he's making bad calls or didn't do this or didn't do that, didn't recruit that player, didn't win enough games. But, just you can't do this, and you hope he didn't do this. But, this isn't what you want to talk about on any morning on a radio show or TV show. And, this isn't what we want to talk about. It's not how we should be conducting ourselves. And, it's just sobering. You just don't like these type of things.
So let's move on to something more delightful, the transfer portal.
There you go. There you go.
The transfer portal. All right, so Trey Knox enters the portal. You got a coach leaving. Yesterday for a few hours, Bruce, it felt like the sky was falling around Sam Pittman in this program. I think we realized the sun's going to come up today. They'll hire more coaches. They'll get more players. But yesterday it felt like everything was circling the drain on you.
Well, that's the nature of the portal. I mean, everybody, especially Arkansas fans, talk about how well Coach Pittman and Musselman have navigated the portal. And, there's two sides of the portal. There's a entry door and there's an exit door. And it's just life as we know it. Tommy, we didn't grow up like this.
No.
We didn't. If someone transferred, I think you probably remember when Jeff George transferred from, I think it was Illinois to Indiana or vice versa. That was a big deal. He had to sit out 2 years in the Big Ten or Purdue or wherever he went. That just didn't happen. And now you're getting marquee players, marquee coaches just hopping around, taking players with them. And I think it's just the reality of college football now. We got to learn to relax a little bit. Our best players a lot of times won't play in bowl games. We're not going to have a lot of our second stringers, in some cases even first stringers. And I think what happens, when you look at All-American lists and you can transfer from Alabama to Arkansas and become a first-team All-American, I don't think that's what you like seeing it when it happens to you, but I think that says to us players, hey, I can change in 1 year, I can become famous. And it's just it's just something we're going to have to get used to. The long-time people, I guess I'm saying old people, we're just not used to that, and we got to get used to it.
The thing is, we want an answer today. By God, I need to know now. Well, the reality is, we got to sit back and come February when all the dust settles with the recruiting, commitment signing. Most of that should be done here this month. Your staff set. Where are you at February 1 with your roster? Is your roster in a better spot or a worse spot? And some of those answers you may not have because you got players that what you've had. You don't know exactly what's coming in, how they're going to perform. Is your coaching staff better off? And the answer may be no come February 1. No, there's been a noticeable step back, but right now you just got to wait and see where you're at and reevaluate things here in about 45 days.
That's right. Tommy, in the middle of this, I got to ask you a real important question.
All right.
My wife and I were watching the state championship game 4A. Are you okay? Because, man, they scored 100 points. I mean, they were running you off the field.
75 in the first half. They could barely keep up with me, But it's a good thing AETN had high-speed lenses, so I wasn't just a blur as I moved down the field. But
Bruce, why, man? Why?
It was a long day. I went 75 first-half points, but I
think
the
longest break in history, isn't it?
Yeah, we had it was 3 hours and 38 minutes.
Did you have the oxygen mask on the sideline?
No, I don't.
Like
I didn't
Kareem
need
did.
that.
Calvin Leopards, man, that was fun.
5 hours and 58 minutes total time for the game. So it was a lengthy game, but fun, and it was an honor to be a very small part of it. So.
Well, you even though you were out of breath, you spoke very clearly and spoke very well every time you got the opportunity.
Well,
I think you were wearing makeup too. You kind of had a little color to your face.
Well, I mean, when you're on TV, you got to be ready. So. But thank you for noticing. So, usually you only get noticed when things go wrong. So.
Oh, gosh. That's right.
So, all right, let's talk about this basketball team. Something people actually care about.
There you go.
Where are things at right now? You get kind of the week off with finals. You play against Bradley, a game unless you're there you're not going to see, but you'll hear about it right here on the radio. Where in your mind is this basketball program at? Sitting around the edge of the top 10, Where are things in your mind as they get ready and they're 2 games now away from starting SEC play?
Well, when I was a sports writer, which was a long time ago, when I look at these guys, it conjures up images of Day and Mayberry and Miller, and you just see the talent oozing out of this team, and you feel good if you're a Razorback fan. You got a Arkansan kind of leading to the charge. It's good to see Nick Smith establishing himself like he did last game. I mean, it's an exciting time, and you don't know if it's going to be Anthony Black. You don't know if it's going to be Ricky Council IV, and it's exciting. I think it was tempered a little bit, obviously with the injury to Brazil, but I think this team's special, and you got a good coach. You got someone that game plans well, and you just see this talent developing. And I don't care if they're ranked 9th or 2nd or 15th. I don't think you need to worry about rankings. I just think it's going to be a special night every time you show up, and I think somebody's just going to do something cool every time you show up, and you're going to have a highlight. And this team, you feel like they could win every game they play.
Can they win the SEC without Trevor Brazil?
Yeah, they can win it. I mean, they got the talent, they got the coaching, and the SEC's kind of, I don't know if everybody thought Alabama would be the team that's knocked off 2 number 1s. They're playing good basketball. I think they play Memphis tonight, which just knocked off Auburn. Tennessee is going to make you play ugly. Tennessee plays ugly. It's going to be a game in the 60s or 50s. I think Kentucky's probably not as good as we thought they were. They've had a lot of close games. They've got the returning best player in Sheboy. But no, Arkansas, I think when you look at what the rest of the SEC is doing, I think they got a chance to win the SEC. And again, I go back to what Tommy always says. I think a lot of teams care about winning the SEC and the SEC tournament. I think Arkansas's goals are a little higher than that. Going to the Final Four, taking it 1 step further, 2 steps further than they've done the last 2 years. And I just don't think anybody who has good vision could say this team at this point isn't better than what we've seen the last 2 years, and the potential is better. I just think that's what we're seeing.
Yeah, they've gotten dropped in the semis of the SEC tournament the last 2 years, and then have gone on to lead the SEC in the final standings and where they ended up. You've had these teams that have finished above Arkansas the last 2 years, but weren't able to get to it in postseason. You brought up Kentucky. I know you're going to be keeping a close eye on Tennessee, and you brought up Alabama. I mean, how many tournament teams do you foresee at this point? About 6, and Mississippi State's probably the surprise team in the conference this year.
Mississippi State and Auburn are playing well. I think right now the SEC solidly has 6. I think a lot of people expected more out of A&M after making that title game, SEC title game push, winning 4 games in 4 days last year in the SEC tournament. That's probably been the biggest disappointment. But I think Texas A&M translates into Latin as disappointment. So I don't think anybody expected them to do well. But that's probably been the biggest disappointment this year. 6 teams in the NCAA. I think that's the expectation right now.
Hey, real quick, we should touch on this. I've seen no update on my phone from ESPN.com or anything since 11 o'clock last night, but Mike Leach in very critical condition in the hospital. The situation doesn't look good, Bruce, as prayers for the Pirate, I guess, so to say this morning.
Yeah, and, my wife and I have talked about that a few times yesterday. We liked him when he was at Texas A&M, and just he's eccentric, but he's a character. We like people like that in sports. They make it interesting. You YouTube some of his post-game press conferences or pre-game press conferences, and it's entertaining stuff. But again, we're talking about a guy fighting for his life. So if you believe in the power of prayer, please say a prayer for Coach Leach, and we just hope the best for him. And beyond that, I think we just need to hope he gets better and hope he survives. And the coaching thing, hopefully that'll be something they figure out down the road. But right now, it looks like a guy's fighting for his life, and that's probably what the focus needs to be on.
I'm sure there'll be possibly more updates as the day moves on. All right, we are a couple of weeks out from Christmas. I guess, it seems like we're moving faster and faster, less than 2 weeks away, I guess, from this past Sunday. I always think if you got an angler on your shopping list and you don't know what to get, anything from Pradco perfectly fits in the stocking.
That's right. Most of our packages are 1 7/8 wide, and they're usually about 4 to 6 inches tall. That's a standard industry package width and length, so it fits nicely in a stocking. So whether you want to get a Rebel Pawpaw or a Head Super Spook Junior or a Bandit 200 crankbait, which works great on the Arkansas River, anything you can buy at Walmart, Bass Pro Academy, in the lure aisle, it's a great stocking stuffer. And, we know from statistics that 55 million people in the United States buy fishing licenses every single year. That doesn't include people under the age of 16 and people over the age of 65. They don't have to buy fishing licenses. So there's a chance someone in your household, someone probably even yourself, fishes. And it's just a great positive stocking stuffer. Don't buy them candy. That might make them go to the dentist or make the teeth fall out. And, don't need to buy them a cigar. That's just not a good habit. But a fishing lure, that's very positive, and might even put dinner on the plate one night if you use the right robe.
That's right.
The right fill float. Yeah,
that's right. All right, Bruce, we look forward to seeing you again and here next Tuesday on the Morning Rush.
All right, guys. Good talking to you.
Bruce Stanton, Pradco Fishing, with us every Tuesday here as we roll along and getting closer to Christmas. I mean, this year, we say this every year, but it just seems like it's true. The year just continues to fly by. Nothing ever grinds anymore. It's just fast.
You getting coal in your stocking this year? Or you're a good little boy?
I just hope to get coal.
You want coal?
I just hope to get coal. I don't know what I'll get in my stocking this year. Probably
land sharks.
Probably to-do list. Hey, we need you to do this and we need you to do that.
Just different stages of life, man.
Can you the thing is, we're still trying to decide. We're way behind. I said, at this point, we don't even need to worry about a tree. But we got family coming next week, and we haven't even dealt with it yet. So let's just go somewhere that's decorated, be done with it. Never eaten out for Christmas. We may be that family. We'll be that family in the Christmas store. We'll be eating the Chinese food on
Waffle
Christmas.
House is open, man.
There you go. That's for a reason, and we'll be packed. Too. Hey, one place you can go and hang out for Christmas is Gaston's White River Resort. 870-431-5202 is the number to head to Gaston's. It's a great time because with 40% off during winter rates, stay 2 or more nights. And with kids out of school at the holidays, it's a great time to get away. Usually the weather's great for some fishing around the holidays as well. Book an expert guide that can show you the White River and help you land one of those trophy rainbows or big browns on the White River you've always dreamed about. 870-431-5202. Winter rates at Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time every time.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
Roger Scott for Leaf Guard of Arkansas. Sing along with me. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Leaves are everywhere. Something like that. Now, actually, the leaves aren't everywhere. They're in one of two places. There's a ton of them that are in your yard, and the other half, they're in your gutters. And with the weight of all those leaves when wet, plus the muck and mud and shingle grit that's already there, man, that's a recipe for disaster. Now, let old Chef Roger help you out with what's cooking at Leaf Guard of Arkansas. The first 20 folks that call and get set up will get 75% off labor on a whole house job. 75% off. Plus, you may also be eligible for 18 months of no-interest financing. So if having the only true one-piece covered gutter system on the market wasn't already the best gift in a while, now it's 75% off labor on a whole house job and no-interest financing for 18 months has put it in the running with a new car, a deer rifle, or a puppy as best gift ever. Call Leaf Guard at 501-664-5400 or visit leafguardandmore.com.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has a...
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building or welding experience, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay and a $500 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man. Apply today in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
Dent Source, the leader in auto hail repair for over 20 years. Our certified technicians service all vehicles and offer a lifetime warranty. Dent Source will keep you on the road with a courtesy vehicle and offer free pickup and delivery. Dent Source, now open in Fort Smith.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports, contests, and events with first-to-market odds and lines. Find reviews and news for every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all your sports information, from live in-game betting, props, and futures. Head to BetOnline today or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Use our promo code BELIEVE50 to receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. That's BELIEVE, BLEAV 50. That's BELIEVE, BLEAV 50. Bet online, where the game starts.
Ed Sheeran used to sing in the church choir, but now bad habits reveal his desire. The old saying goes, sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. Sow a character, reap a destiny. God knows you can't overcome. That's why the faith that saves is trusting what Jesus has already done. There's nothing else you can say or use or do. Bad habits lead to doom. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Sometimes wounds just don't heal, and when they don't, reach out to the Tulsa Wound Center. They provide chronic wound care using all the latest technologies such as hyperbaric oxygen therapy, shockwave therapy, skin substitutes, and more. When it comes to life and limb, experience matters. Make sure you are being seen and treated by an experienced and certified wound physician. Founder and medical director Dr. Lam Lee has been a prominent wound care and hyperbaric physician for over 15 years. 10,000 patients can't be wrong. Online at TulsaWoundCenter.com or call 918-561-6661.
Intimidator UTVs offer premium components as standard, unlike those other companies. Items such as doors, skid plates, heavy-duty frames, and comfortable seating, all at one comparable price. See why Intimidator UTVs are the best choice by visiting your local dealer, Horns Outdoor in Hot Springs, or visit hornsoutdoor.net.
Hi, I'm Mike Van Jr. with Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. You can count on my team to provide top quality pressure washing and exterior cleaning services for your property.
What all do you service?
Fence washing, gutter, or deep concrete cleaning for your home, commercial business, and more.
Do you have insurance?
Absolutely. We're covered with liability insurance, and we also use safe and effective wash methods, leaving your home or business looking brand new.
I guess I need to go to your website, mjmobilewash.com.
Or just give me a call at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
Unleash your inner detective at the 6 Foot Climb Murder Mystery Dinner. It's the ultimate murder mystery experience where you will enjoy a riveting night of conundrum and peril disguised as belly shaking, feet stomping, side-splitting laughter. Enjoy a scrumptious dinner coupled with some of the best entertainment in the Arkansas River Valley. The 6 Foot Climb is an experience you will never forget. Hosted at the Beard and Lady Inn in Chester, Arkansas. For tickets and more information, go to the6footclimb.com.
For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
Biggest Razorback football news that came out yesterday. Trey Knox has entered the transfer portal, has not announced his final destination yet. But that coming off the heels of Dow Loggins taking the South Carolina job, which was also, I guess they put out something yet? I haven't gotten on their Twitter.
Widely reported.
Yeah, widely reported. So I guess we're still waiting on that. We'll have to wait and see what.
Arkansas won't put anything out.
I'm talking about Gamecocks.
Yeah, I mean you never see the school that they're leaving put it out, but yeah, you see something from South Carolina maybe today.
Yep, probably get that later on. Nick Smith Jr. named the co-SEC Freshman of the Week, third straight week. An honor for the Arkansas Razorback basketball team from the SEC office. Nick had a really stellar performance against UNC Greensboro, where he took over in the second half. Not surprised, and won't be the last award that he's given from the SEC office this year.
Well, and you've had some individual standouts. I wonder at the state where college basketball is at, do we need a Freshman of the Week award and then a Player of the Week award? I mean, the freshmen are oftentimes the best players in the league, period. So sometimes I wonder which one's more valuable, being Freshman of the Week or the Player of the Week. To me, they're almost one and the same anymore with where we're at with basketball.
Speaking of freshmen, Christopher Pupal was named a freshman All-American AP-wise, as was Drew Sanders named a first-team AP All-American. Drew getting a bunch of awards, and that's good for Pupal, who, again, he was really good this year. He's probably the best young defensive player that you have on the roster currently. DJ Williams put his name in the hat for the tight end job at Arkansas. He said, Coach Pittman, I would love to talk to you about coaching tight ends. I know Chris Gregg has also put something out on social media like that. That's always I know Derek and Zach were having fun with it yesterday. Let's just find a former player and say, hey, you should be the next coach.
With all due respect, don't you need an experienced coach? I mean, the idea that I understand you played, but if that was the case, wouldn't Larry Bird been like one of the greatest coaches ever? Wouldn't Michael Jordan, couldn't he have been just because you play doesn't mean you're a great coach. There's a lot more to it. In fact, some of the greatest coaches never really played at a high level. See Bill Belichick, see Nick Saban. So, we can't get caught up in that. Yeah, these are great former players, and maybe they'd be great coaches. I'm not saying you can't be, but just because you played here and you were a star doesn't mean you're the right fit for the job.
Yeah, you've talked about you want the best
job.
You best fit for the job. Doesn't have to be a former Razorback. I mean, Hunter doesn't have any ties here. Anyone want to disagree that he's doing a good job?
Right, Broyles never
Arkansas?
had any ties.
Yeah, Georgia Tech dude. I mean,
came from Missouri.
All right, Irwin's talked about this. McDonald's from Ireland. Broyles went to Georgia Tech. Nolan from Tulsa, from El Paso.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's three of the best coaches in Razorback history.
I think the exception would be John McDonald. Wasn't he the shop teacher at Greenland? Am I remembering that right? And became the track coach but he was obviously from Ireland. He was not a born Razorback. So, but he had some ties in the air. I mean, the point is, we always want to look from within when generally greatness comes from outside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's, again, best guy for the job. That's what you want.
Yep.
My dad sent me this yesterday. Baylor's on this list too. You're one of 7 teams that have a top 25 men and women's college basketball team and are bowl-bound this season, along with Ohio State, Kansas, UConn, UCLA, Baylor, and Maryland. If you want an obscure stat, that is your obscure stat this morning. That's going to do it for your Hog Update, brought to you by Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
All right, it is December, and I know a lot of you partake in Christmas movies this time of year. Any guesses? This is from Wish Listed, what the number 1 rated Christmas movie for the state of Arkansas is?
Oh, I would think would have to like Christmas Vacation the most, just because it has Cousin Eddie, and we all got a relative that's like Cousin Eddie.
It's actually Die Hard, according to this list, which some people say is a Christmas movie, other people say it's not a Christmas movie. Now, in Arizona and Alaska, Christmas Vacation is that, along with a bunch of other states. Some of the others are Love Actually, It's a Wonderful Life, Gremlins, Edward Scissorhands. I don't know if Gremlins and Edward Scissorhands initially is in the same class as some of these. Some of these, like, I've never heard of The Shop Around the Corner. I've never heard of that movie, but Christmas Vacation is not, but it's for a lot of other states on this list. It's easily the most popular one on this United States-wise.
Yeah, and Christmas Day, because they start it usually on TNT, TBS, The Christmas Story, usually like 6 o'clock Christmas Eve night, and it runs for 24 hours. How many hours do you leave it on there? You'll pick it up halfway through. You'll watch it. You come back. I mean, it's we've all seen it a million times, but you only watch it once a year. And I usually end up watching it twice, throughout that time period
over the course of the day. Yeah, I think that's
and you don't get overdone on it because you usually just see it once a year.
I always Wonderful Life is always on Christmas Eve, and we'll watch that. I'll watch Christmas Story on Christmas Day, Christmas Vacation at some point. I guess it's December the 13th, and I don't think I've watched a Christmas movie to this point. I'm trying to think. I don't think I've watched a.
Have you listened to a lot of Christmas music?
Yeah, I listen to. I have a unique thing that I do in the morning where I listen to 2 songs. It takes me 2 songs to get here on the way to work, and I usually listen to worship, but now it's Christmas time, so it's Christmas worship. So I listen to Silent Night twice on the way to work. It's a weird tradition. That's what I listen to every morning when it's Christmas
we can start
season.
Filtering in some Christmas music here soon.
Yeah.
Not we're going to run out of days and chances to do it, so looking forward to that. Christmas movies, you bring it up. Makes me think of World of Wireless because now's the time to get your TV straightened out and ready to go. One of the things I love about the Hopper system I have in my house with Dish, which you can lock in your price for 3 years, Netflix, Amazon Prime, all built into the guide. So I don't have to switch the input on the TV or push extra buttons to get to Netflix. I push one button on my remote, on my Dish remote, and it takes me right to Netflix. Logs it into my account, boom, I'm off. So if I want to watch and search Christmas movies, or you can hit the voice button, the Google Assistant button on the remote, and just say Christmas movies, and it'll pull them all up on your guide. And that's really cool. And this time of year when we're on the go, traveling, kids got stuff going on at school, you're missing things at night, the Dish Anywhere app allows you to set your DVR when you're gone and also watch TV on the go as well. So if you're out when the Hogs are playing, you can watch it on your phone with the Dish Anywhere app and never miss anything. 877-305-DISH. Get your 3-year price guarantee, 2-year commitment with World of Wireless. 877-305-DISH.
So we don't have a Razorback sporting event until this Saturday with Arkansas taking on Bradley. They've got finals this week, and that game is in Little Rock. Starts at 3 o'clock, airtime at 2:30. We will be doing Hog Reaction following that game. We're going to do that next. I guess we've got UNC Greensboro. No, that's not right. Sorry. UNC Asheville next Wednesday, and then they on
28th the next game after that.
After
LSU,
because they've got that. So we'll start up doing Hog Reaction after every game, starting when SEC play rolls around.
Basically, one more game, the Asheville game, and then that's an 8 o'clock weeknight game.
No one will be there, right? I mean, it's the 21st.
You want to be up till midnight doing that and then show? I don't. So, we'll start them all with. But I want to make sure we got every SEC game in. Yeah. That's what we will do. Plus that Baylor game.
Yeah, that Baylor game's gonna be fun. I know my dad's really excited about that. As
Hope
the Bears,
he's not as excited when it's over.
Yeah, me too. That's gonna be a tough game in Waco. They have a salty basketball team.
Yep. Win or lose, either team could still be in the Final Four.
Yeah. I would agree with that statement.
Win or lose that game.
All right, hour number 3 coming up. We're going to talk to Tom Murphy about a lot of things. Get his opinion on Trey Knox, Dow Loggins, latest on Mike Leach. Plus, we haven't gotten to this report yet from Brett McMurphy of the Action Network. Oklahoma and Texas joining the league earlier in 2024. It's been widely speculated. We'll see if it happens. Tom joins us next.
Hey, Hog fans, this is Robert.
And this is Matt.
And this is Elizabeth.
And we're at the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville.
Mom, Dad, I have an idea. We still have a lot of inventory to the point where I'm having an avalanche of sweatshirts on a daily basis. How about we have a holiday sale so I can actually move in the stockroom?
I'm all for it, but what do you have in mind?
What if we do a discount code for the online stores so people everywhere can save on their Hog stuff?
How would you tell everybody about the discount code?
Y'all know that Twitter or Facebook Live
You mean
thingy?
Facebook Live.
The dad side is strong with this one.
Anyway, what if I do one every Monday announcing what the code is for that week?
That's what I'm saying. Tune in every Monday morning to the Stadium Shop Facebook and Twitter pages to get weekly updates on what's new and what the discount code for the week is.
Also, stop by the store and take advantage of our inventory reduction sale going on now until Christmas.
We're located at 989 South Razorback Road next to Baum Walker Stadium in Fayetteville.
Or you can use the code of the week and go online to shoponrazorback.com. That's shoponrazorback.com.
Or call us at 479-STADIUM. That's 479-782-3486.
It just doesn't get more Razorback than us.
Go Hogs.
Hey, it's Jan from Toyota, reminding you that Toyotathon is on. And here to help make your holidays extra magical. How? Maybe it's driving in a Tacoma in search of the perfect hill to sled down. Cruising around the neighborhood in a Camry to go caroling. Popping from store to store in a Prius to find the perfect gift.
You did it. How'd you know?
Or it could be something much more simple, like surprising loved ones in a RAV4 hybrid.
You made it! What a surprise! Bobby, you're all grown up!
And seeing their faces light up when you pull up to their home. Stop by Toyotathon and make this holiday one to remember with an exciting new Toyota, like Highlander, Corolla, Tundra, and more. It's the perfect opportunity to gather with your friends and family, both near and far.
Dealer inventory may vary. Offers are subject to change throughout Toyotathon, which ends on January 3rd. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Toyota, let's go places.
The first thing people notice when they drive up to your home or walk in any room of your house is the color. And if you're looking for the perfect color and the perfect paint, you'll find it at the Paint Store in Van Buren. Hi, Tommy Kraft here. The Paint Store in Van Buren gives you hometown service from people who know what they're talking about. You don't have to chase them down to get help at the Paint Store. They're always there to help you get that perfect color and that perfect match for your project. If you're looking for the perfect paint color, it's at the Paint Store, 1414 Fayetteville Road in Van Buren.
The Golf Nut has been Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994. Beat the heat, book a time in their hitting base with the TrackMan technology, or play around on one of the many courses like Bethpage Black or Pebble Beach. Needing help with your game? Call Matt Brooks today and schedule a lesson using the simulator. For the best selection of clubs, shoes, and apparel, stop by the Golf Nut today, 5121 Towson Avenue in Fort Smith, your #1 stop shop for everything golf.
Bite this network with an urgent weekend morning update. You can go back to sleep. That's right, relax, because Hardee's now serves their new Super Biscuit sandwiches every day and until noon on weekends, so you can rise and dine with a whole lot of meat on a made-from-scratch biscuit. More on this whenever you wake up and get back from Hardee's. Bite into the new Super Sausage and Super Bacon Biscuits only at Hardee's. For a limited time at participating Hardee's. Exclusions may apply by time of day.
Riley Farm Dental, at the entrance to Riley Farms, provides every type of dental care and procedures for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Drs. Sparkman, Nanda, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile, more confident, and a comfortable experience every time. Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A, at the entrance to Riley Farms. Call 226-3500 for an appointment or visit RileyFarmDental.com.
Shop Metters Lumber True Value for great bargains of the month. Stay warm this winter with a Honeywell 2-position heater for $44.99. Pick up a 44-piece Master Mechanic tool set for only $29.99. Complete your toolkit with a 29-piece DeWalt screwdriver bit set for just $11.99. Choose from a 16-pack of AA or AAA Energizer Max Alliance batteries for only $15.99. Grab an 18-gallon Sterilite storage container for just $9.99. Get these bargains of the month while supplies last at Metters Lumber True Value.
State sales tax paid on every pre-owned vehicle on the lot now through Christmas Eve at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Get your state sales tax paid on every pre-owned vehicle now through Christmas Eve at Harry Robinson. You'll save hundreds, even thousands with state sales tax paid. This does not apply to previously negotiated deals. State sales tax paid on every pre-owned vehicle on the lot now through December 24th at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Whether you're fishing for cold water bass on Beaver Lake or Table Rock, or fishing for a trophy brown trout on the mighty White River, the Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue will catch them. It has that famous rolling action whether it's fished extremely slow or worked fast in heavy current. This rogue suspends, so it will stay in the strike zone longer, allowing you to catch more fish. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Smithwick Original Suspending Rattling Rogue.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we're looking at cloudy skies throughout the day. Showers, a chance of a few thunderstorms. We could see some very heavy downpours at times. Our high this afternoon, upper 50s to low 60s. A few isolated showers or thunderstorms tonight, overnight lows in the low to mid 40s. And then we should clear to sunshine with highs in the 50s Wednesday. I'm Sally Russell with the forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Fayetteville is 1,843 miles away, but the call of the Hogs can be heard all the way to San Francisco.
ESPN 95.3 and hithatline.com. You're listening to The Morning Rush live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3 KERX Paris Fort Smith. This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light, please drink responsibly.
KJ looking to throw, plenty of time. Now he's running out of time. Throws it into the end zone, complete. Touchdown, Arkansas. Trey Knox.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
40-year-old adolescents, felons, power drinkers, and trustees of modern chemistry.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
Were you going to have a party here tonight, son? I don't know what that was all about.
Streaming live from
hitthatline.com.
That seducer and spoiler must be stopped. He's extremely dangerous.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? Stop what you're doing and listen.
The Morning Rush starts right now.
All right, it's hour number 3 of the Morning Rush here on a Toyota Tuesday. We're going to talk with our guy, Tom Murphy of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette and Whole Hog Sports coming up in just a bit. But first, I want to tell you about our friends at Arts Barbecue and Burgers. Now, Tommy was talking a little bit about it earlier. Maybe this holiday season, you don't want to do the cooking, whether it's the turkey, the ham, whatever the case may be. Well, let Wade and Morgan help you out this holiday season. Now, the key is to call them today or this week, because before Thanksgiving, they had to stop orders because they had so many, because the expectation of Arts is so high, because so many people are calling, ordering, and getting all the stuff from them that you've got to do it ASAP. You've got to do it quick at Arts Barbecue and Burgers. Again, they can help you smoke or deep fry your turkey or ham. They've got all these different packages for you this holiday season. Maybe you had it on Thanksgiving. You want it again. Well, there's no problem with that. Give Morgan and Wade a call over at Arts Barbecue and Burgers. They can cater everything this holiday season, from turkey to desserts. Again, that's Arts Barbecue and Burgers next to Buddy's on Rogers Avenue. Let Arts help feed your family this Christmas season, or New Year's for that matter. Maybe you got a big blowout for New Year's at Arts Barbecue and Burgers. Let's talk to Tom Murphy this morning, Arkansas Democrat-Gazette and Whole Hog Sports. Tom, good morning, buddy. We were talking about the latest on Trey Knox, the news that came out yesterday. Your thoughts on the former Arkansas tight end that has now hit the transfer portal?
Yeah, when you guys played the intro with Chuck's play-by-play there, I knew who that KJ pass was going to go to, Trey Knox. I stated this publicly yesterday on Twitter. I've really enjoyed covering Trey Knox. What a fantastic kid, bright, engaging. Changed positions, and at the time we heard that he wasn't real thrilled with it, but I do think it played better into his skill set, and so I guess this means he's going to play his final year somewhere else. And with the news that Dow Loggins is going to South Carolina, and the guy who recruited him, Justin Stepp, being there, I mean that could be a logical destination for Trey Knox to wrap up his career. But man, you just hate to see it. He would have been a great veteran presence, and obviously a security blanket type guy for KJ to throw the ball to.
Tom, who the heck is KJ Jefferson going to throw the ball to in the Liberty Bowl? No Keytron Jackson, no Jaden Hazelwood, no Trey Knox. You don't have a starting center. I mean, who is he going to throw the ball to in the bowl game?
Yeah, well, right now it looks to be Matt Landers, the running back, Isaiah Satania. I mean, there'll be some backup tight ends who could come in and help you. But, yeah, they're going to look like a different team. I mean, I think I haven't counted it all up yet, but they could have more opt-outs than what Penn State had in last year's Outback Bowl, and you could kind of tell they ran out of gas in the second half, particularly on defense. This Arkansas team doesn't appear to be as personnel losses as much on defense as offense. But I mean, with Poole and Sanders out, and Miles Slusher gone, they're gonna have losses on both sides of the ball.
We're talking with Tom Murphy, Arkansas Democrat-Gazette and Whole Hog Sports. Tom, what happens if they get shelled in the bowl game? How do fans react to that? And how does the coaching staff kind of juxtapose that with the fact that they didn't have so many of their guys to actually participate in this one?
Right. Well, you just have to. Everything has to be sorted properly and examined. And I think I don't see them getting shelled because I think they can put in a capable center, even if it's moving Bo Limmer over or putting Marcus Henderson in. Well, they could be a competent offense. And so I don't anticipate a shelling. Now they could lose the game, obviously, and people would say, well, we had all these guys that didn't play in the bowl game, and then you'd be 6-7, so you'd have a losing season. I think Sam Pittman's record would go to 500, and next year would be seen as a pretty pivotal year in the trajectory of the football program.
Yeah, it's going to be a big year offseason-wise for coaching hires with Dow Loggins taking the South Carolina offensive coordinator job, Barry Odom going out to take the UNLV. I would expect Michael Shearer at some point to go with him whenever that gets announced. So Dow Loggins, I want to ask you about him. He has had a multitude of success recruiting since he's gotten here to Arkansas, and I think that he's going to continue to have success in Columbia, South Carolina. Doesn't have a great track record coaching offenses in the National Football League. Do you think he's going to have success offensively with Spencer Rattler and company next year?
Well, I mean, they had their big games this year. I mean, if your program beats top 10 teams to finish the year, Tennessee and Clemson, then you've had some success. And I don't see that Dow Loggins' tutelage of Spencer Rattler would, force them to go backwards. So I would think that they would definitely have. Now, they did lose some key. I mean, I saw where Marshawn Lattimore, Marshawn Lloyd got in the portal yesterday, and they also lost Jaheim Bell, who I thought was a really key part of what they do, real versatile piece. So, they'll have to – it's just like every other program pretty much. You're going to have some of your best talent peeled off, and you're going to bring guys back from the portal. I thought Arkansas did a pretty good job this year with the trade-off they got between guys leaving early and then the portal guys they got. And so South Carolina would be in that same boat. Plug back in some guys who can fit in our system and who Rattler can be comfortable with. And the same thing would be said for KJ. They certainly have to bring in the freshman set of receivers. They've got to have guys like Satania and Bakke, and Jaden Wilson has got to get better, and give KJ a fleet of receivers he can trust like he did this year's batch.
Tom, you're talking about offensive success. One of the guys that comes to mind is Mike Leach, who we know is in critical condition at this point in time. This is a situation that not many fan bases have ever had to deal with, particularly in the Southeastern Conference. Just kind of your thoughts on Coach Leach as a coach overall, and then just what he and his family have had to deal with the last couple days.
Yeah, he's a singular guy in this profession. I don't think there's been quite as many or any others who have spoken their minds the way they did. And it seemed to me like he cherished going to places that had been struggling, and some people call them outposts or, outbacks in Lubbock and in Pullman, Washington, and Starkville. And you're talking about the three of the least populated areas in each of those conferences, and turning out winners and then running his air raid offense. When I covered Alabama, I'm not sure if I've shared this with you guys before. When I covered Alabama, they played Texas Tech in the Cotton Bowl. It was the 2005 season. And so after one of the pressers, I went up to Leach, and he had his coffee cup in his hand. I think he had a pair of shorts on. And I asked him something, and I can't remember what it had to do with. Maybe that he did magic tricks or card tricks. And lo and behold, he had a pack of cards in his pocket, and he pulled it out and played the trick, and the rest of the beat guys and I were standing around him. And it's a deal where I pick a card, and I want to say it was the 7 of clubs, and he calls a buddy, and he goes, "Hey, man, can you do this right now?" And the guy says whatever, and he talks to the guy, and then the guy says what the card is, and he got it right. And so, pretty amazing deal. And I've read testimonials of folks, and this guy Stephen Robertson, who covers Mississippi State, has written some really touching things about Mike Leach, and it's sad to hear. And just prayers to Mike Leach and his family.
Yeah, we just got a flurry of text here, Tom. The Mississippi State football program just released this about 11 minutes ago that Mike Leach, at the age of 61, has passed away as of last night following a complications from a heart condition. So for all our Mississippi State brethren and family, our thoughts and prayers are with you this morning, because that's not something any fan base wants to go through, and particularly a school that we compete with on a yearly basis, Tom.
Absolutely true. I mean, it's just it's heartbreaking, and I don't know what further there is to say other than he's going to be missed. I mean, if you've been on social media the last 2 days, you've seen Sam Pittman. I think every coach in the SEC, Nick Saban, has reached out and said, let's pray for Mike Leach. And you've seen testimonials from a lot of folks, young journalists who he had a connection with, and he helped them. And so he's a shining light who will be missed.
So that's the big coaching news in college football. Tom, the big coaching news in college basketball is what Chris Beard has been charged with. Do you think there's any way that Chris Delaconte and then move forward with Beard, and at some point he's still coaching Texas in the future?
Yeah, if I knew more of the details, I would feel more comfortable commenting on whether or not they move forward with Beard. We've known, I mean, he had the broken hand, or that he punched the board when he was coaching. Did that not happen when he was at ULR against Purdue? So, I mean, he's a high-strung guy, and I guess as the details come out more, they'll have to, reckon with what's happened here. I don't think schools are as tolerant anymore, and I do think that, if you're the leader of a program, you have to set a better example than that. And so we'll see as this thing plays out.
Tom, on that note, and again, we'll have to wait, as you just said, see if it plays out. Tommy brought something to my attention tonight that I hadn't even thought about. Let's say Chris Beard is let go and they're in the midst of a coaching search. How high up is Eric Musselman on Chris Delaconte's list, and how apt would Eric Musselman be in potentially pursuing that opportunity?
Man, I do not know the answer to that. I mean, I'm sure Texas could pay an astronomical salary. However, Eric Musselman has seen in his short tenure here that you can build it here. And they've been on the precipice with 2 years in a row. They've got a great team this year. He knows he can recruit to here. He knows he's building himself a legacy at Arkansas. So I don't think it would be easy for him to sever the situation he has here.
Tom, on the subject with Texas, and we're speaking with Tom Murphy, the Arkansas Democrat, Gazette and Whole Hog Sports. Brett McMurphy of the Action Network is reporting that it looks like Oklahoma and Texas are going to join the league earlier in 2024. That's where his indications, his sources lead them. I know we've asked you before if you think this is going to happen. My perspective would be, if you're an Arkansas fan or an athletics department member or a coaching staff member, do you want Texas and Oklahoma to join the league early?
Well, no matter what you think or what you want, if you're a UA administrator, under your check, chancellor, whomever, whatever is going to happen is going to happen. Texas is joining early. It's kind of like when they joined the league. A&M was clearly opposed to it, did not want to be in the same conference, but they were a small pebble against the tide. And so whatever year Texas and Oklahoma are going to join, that's what's going to happen. What it spells is increased competition. Yeah, it also means increased revenues, but your position in the league really hasn't changed. You're a program that is right around the midpoint in terms of revenue, and you've got two powerhouse teams from traditionally that are joining, and so it's going to be tough. It's tough right now for Arkansas to try to win the SEC West. If they're all put in one division, it's just going to be tougher to win the whole thing. I mean, can you imagine the competition in this league if there's no division and everybody's vying for the top two spots, and that with the playoff expanding to 12, there's going to be years where 3 and 4 SEC teams have a chance to make it, and so. I mean, it's a tougher deal to crack, and Arkansas is not going to stop whether they come in at 24 or 25.
That's what the SEC is going to look like in football in a few years. The SEC basketball right now looks pretty talented as well. Maybe 5 or 6 teams that make the NCAA tournament, and we're going to have to wait until December 28th before Arkansas plays its first conference opponent. We don't have to wait to see Nick Smith anymore, though. He's played a couple games. We saw him go off against UNC Greensboro. He wins SEC Co-Freshman of the Week. Tom, from what you've seen of this point of the number 1 college prospect in the country, how has Nick performed?
He plays with a lot of energy. You could tell he's a team guy. When other guys make plays, he gets fired up. I like his ability to score in a lot of different ways. Just hope that the knee continues to hold up well, and you could tell he wanted to play. And so they're a team that's had to constantly, morph a little bit. Now with Brazil out, I thought they played with so much energy against Oklahoma. Contrast that to the UNC Greensboro game. That was a high-level game they played against Oklahoma. And so his game, I think they're going to find ways to accentuate what he does. I think Jordan Walsh had a better game the other day. You could tell he was a little more aggressive, which I talked to you guys about. It was good to see. And so I think guys are going to continue to fit in their roles, and Nick Smith certainly has a large role on this team.
Another guy's role that's been expanded is Ricky Council IV, and I think him coming in, you expected some quality things about him, but maybe not the degree of he's going to lead your team in scoring. If you're Eric Musselman, Tom, how do you balance the rise of Ricky Council and the return of Nick Smith without them trampling on one another?
Well, that is a delicate thing. However, there's one ball, but there's plenty of opportunity for the both of them. And I think what we've seen so far is almost as Ricky Council plays, the Razorbacks play, because he was under the weather against Greensboro, didn't have his best game, and that was a game that was so tight for so long unexpectedly. He's got, he's made a couple of dagger threes. He made the one against Troy that was so huge. And then he had one the other day. So I like his game. I like that when it was a tight game and it was one possession at a time. I think this was against Troy. Arkansas just let him ISO and drive in the lane, and he scored. It was a different style from Mason Jones, but it was the same kind of thing. Give him the ball, let him go man-to-man against his guy and create something. And so he's been such a wonderful addition to this team. But I do think that both those guys can shine. Both of them will have scoring opportunities. I like what they've done recently with the pick-and-roll stuff with Mitchell. He's scored early in games, and when he does that, it opens things up for everybody.
And it gets him kind of juiced up a little bit. You can tell his emotions start getting going when he's doing things, and that, I think, translates to his defense, the presence that he has blocking shots and rebounding as well. Tom, we'll leave it there this morning, man. Really appreciate your insight, as always, on Tuesdays at 8 o'clock. We'll speak to you on Thursday at 7:20.
Sounds good. Talk to you then.
All right, good stuff, as always, from our friend Tom Murphy of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette and Whole Hog Sports. Now, Mr. Phil Elson is going through something that, as men, we have to go through. A colonoscopy, which every single one of you love dearly, right? Now, I haven't had to do one yet. I'm going to have to do one in a few years. Let's say a few. I'm 28 now. It's coming at some point. Now, Phil has stated he's got this thing at 9, but he's going to be on air for halftime today. Now, I looked this morning because I thought it might be there, because Bet Saracen has everything. Now, they didn't have the over and under or the plus minus of what the odds were Phil is going to actually be the full 3 hours of halftime today. But that's kind of surprising because they got everything. They got Arkansas basketball games early. They got football. They've got in-game odds. You've got a World Cup game today. I think it's Argentina and Morocco. A lot of in-game betting happens. They have everything on the Bet Saracen app. And I know you think some of you think, oh, betting, that's for guys my age. And a lot of my friends do it. But no, this is for everyone. It's on Apple, it's on Android, and it's easy. The Bet Saracen app, those guys have figured it out. It is the easiest betting app to use. You literally pull up your phone, football, basketball, baseball, soccer. They've got everything you need on the Bet Saracen app. Again, just go to the App Store and download it, or go to betsaracen.com and be sure to check out a really cool video of how to play featuring Jancy Sheets. So back to Chris Beard for just one sec. You're like, and I brought up the Eric Musselman angle with Tom. And Tommy, I'll give him credit because he's the one that really broached that subject last night at dinner, and I hadn't thought about that to this point. And I hope Danielle and Eric aren't thinking about it. I hope Danielle hates Austin, Texas. I hope she hates it with a burning passion. I have no idea if she does or not. I just hope that they stay here because it's been a fun ride thus far. But here's the other angle that needs to be accounted for and talked about. A young man by the name of Ron Holland, who I think is signed. They need to double check on this, but I think he's signed with Texas early. If this happens and Beard is let go because of the allegations, then I would think there would possibly be an NCAA waiver that he could use to get out of his signing with Texas. You say, Ty, why is that important? Because Ron played with Andy Black at Duncanville, and he is a guy that Arkansas sought after and wanted and did not end up signing with the Arkansas Razorbacks. So, that being said, you might have a second crack at this kid. Now, Bayfall is the 5-star young man from Denver. He's the, number one player in Colorado. I think he's number 3 center in his class. And you've also got Layden Blocker, who played at Little Rock Christian, now played at Sunrise Academy, and is a really talented point guard. Both are 5 stars. You can add another potential 5-star to this list if it plays out like I think it might. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to see what Ron thinks, if he stays on Texas, if they keep him on board. Just something to monitor when it comes to this Chris Beard situation, because 3 5-stars, that'd be pretty nice. We know Muss is going to get some guys in the portal. That could be someone else that you want to keep an eye on in terms of recruiting. All right, when we come back, we still got a lot more to get to here on a Toyota Tuesday. Your calls and texts are welcome, 877-377-6963.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
Wheels RV wants you to seek out all the natural state has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Roger Scott for Leaf Guard of Arkansas. Sing along with me. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Leaves are everywhere. Something like that. Now, actually, the leaves aren't everywhere. They're in one of 2 places. There's a ton of them that are in your yard, and the other half, they're in your gutters. And with the weight of all those leaves when wet, plus the muck and mud and shingle grit that's already there, man, that's a recipe for disaster. Now, let old Chef Roger help you out with what's cooking at Leaf Guard of Arkansas. The first 20 folks that call and get set up will get 75% off labor on a whole house job. 75% off. Plus, you may also be eligible for 18 months of no-interest financing. So if having the only true one-piece covered gutter system on the market wasn't already the best gift in a while, now it's 75% off labor on a whole house job and no-interest financing for 18 months has put it in the running with a new car, a deer rifle, or a puppy as best gift ever. Call Leaf Guard at 501-664-5400 or visit leafguardandmore.com.
There's more to a tractor than just horsepower. A tractor also needs weight to get that horsepower to the ground. With TYM, a heavier tractor comes standard. Many of the TYM models weigh more for the horsepower than comparable tractors from the big names, and tractors that weigh more do more. See Bush Tractor at their new location at 6100 South Zero in Fort Smith, or log on to bushtractor.com to see how they can upgrade your productivity.
Is your real estate investment portfolio performing the way it should? Do you have too many vacant days resulting in lost rent and higher costs? Those are the silent killer to your bottom line. Marshall's Management Group will keep your properties rented. And trust me, I know a thing or two about rentals. Marshall's Management Group understands these are not just buildings, it's your money. Start the new year with a new property manager. Locally owned Marshall's Management Group. 479-242-7081. That's 479-242-7081 or marshallsrentals.com.
Tax laws are constantly changing, and when it comes to your personal or business taxes, you need the tax professionals with the experience and knowledge to take care of you. A1 Tax Service is your choice for staying on top of changing tax laws. With over 40 years of experience, they are here for you all year long. A1 Tax Service are certified to deal with the IRS, so you don't have to. They also offer bookkeeping and payroll services. See A1 Tax Service at their new location at 6901 Dallas Street off 70th, or check them out online at a1taxfortsmith.com.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Champion Cycling, located at 5500 Massard Road, is a locally owned bike shop in Fort Smith that wants to help you find the joy in cycling that has been a part of their family for years. Their goal is to find the right bike for you, whether it's a road bike, mountain bike, or just a bike for leisure. Champion Cycling is totally stocked and has a large selection of bikes, including brands from Specialized, Pivot, and Look. Whether it's fixing a flat tire or a basic tune-up, their dependable service department is always ready to help. Stop by Champion Cycling today at 5500 Massard Road, and they will help you find your joy in cycling.
State sales tax paid on every pre-owned vehicle on the lot now through Christmas Eve at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Get your state sales tax paid on every pre-owned vehicle now through Christmas Eve at Harry Robinson. You'll save hundreds, even thousands with state sales tax paid. This does not apply to previously negotiated deals. State sales tax paid on every pre-owned vehicle on the lot now through December 24th at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
It's time to plan the Christmas party for your business or family, and the place to make it a special and memorable time is at Doe's Eat Place in Fort Smith. Award-winning steaks and atmosphere, along with the largest wine selection in the River Valley, await your memorable evening. If you're thinking about what to get that hard-to-impress boss or family member, gift certificates from Doe's are sure to impress and bring a smile to their face. Don't delay making your reservations. Call Doe's Eat Place at 784-9111. That's 784-9111. Doe's Eat Place, 422 3rd Street. Open 5 till 9 Monday through Thursday and 5 till 10 Friday and Saturday.
The Big Ten is up and filled with lots of Christmas gift savings at Jelco Outdoors. Hey Dude shoes for men, women, and children. Buy one pair, get the second pair 50% off. Masio clothing by Paramount and Remote, 50 to 75% off original price. Select hang-on ladder and climbing tree stands, 20% off. And casual clothing, save up to 50% off. Don't miss the Big Tent sale at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith. Shop local, shop Jelco Outdoors.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Debo's going to drive, lob for Council, and a throwdown. Ricky with the throwdown. Duck, Hogs by 12.
Watch the Morning Rush on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. Just search Hit That Line.
The big developing story that unfortunately I have to share with you this morning, as so many of our texters have sent in, is Mike Leach is no longer with us, dead at the age of 61. We're going to react to that news coming up in just a bit. First, I want to tell you about our friends at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. For Keith Wilson and his team, they do a great job at the Russellville and the Fayetteville location. At CJ's, you're always going to get a dynamic burger and awesome fries, and their milkshakes are fantastic as well. The Fayetteville location, you can always get salads, chicken sandwiches. You can also go through the drive-thru. You can do curbside pickup. You can take out, dine in, and then also you can dine in and take it to go at the Russellville location. We know football's done, so you don't have CJ's in the stadium anymore, but you can always bring it home with you with the delicious CJ's Butcher Boy Burger seasoning. They also have the patties ready-made at Harps. So, again, you can get the seasoning at your local Harp stores, or you can get it at both locations as well. Again, I think they're going to win for the bajillionth time the best NWA award for burgers, fries, and cheap eats. I can't wait for them to announce that. CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best. And let me tell you, they are at CJ's. Tell Keith and his fam that Ty and Tommy sent you. All right, let's talk about Mike Leach for a sec. This is from the president, Mark E. Keenum. Mike's death also underscores the fragility and uncertainty of our lives. 3 weeks ago, Mike and I were in the locker room celebrating a hard-fought victory in Oxford. Mike Leach truly embraced life and lived in such a manner, and he left no regrets. It's a worthy legacy. Anytime you have someone close to you pass away, you think about a lot of different things. You think about, did I spend enough time with them? Did I tell them how much I love them. And for every Mississippi State football player, family member with Mike Leach, anyone that worked with them, they're contemplating those same questions right now. I mean, this was a visionary. This was a pioneer in the football world. I mean, you think about back in the day, him teaming up with Hal Mumme. I think it was at Valdosta State, Kentucky, and then he moved on to Oklahoma. We saw his track record at Texas Tech. I mean, guy won at Pullman, Washington. He won 11 games at Washington State and has had so many good quarterbacks over the years. Graham Harrell, Gardner Minshew, I mean, Will Rogers this year. He is just a football mind that is no longer with us at the age of 61. He's an icon of sorts. You think about all the crazy quirks and quotes that he's had over the years, always willing to speak his mind, which is more than I can say for myself sometimes. He's never afraid of the backlash that he may receive by believing a certain thing. But again, it's Mike Leach, and that's who he was. And remember, this is a guy that graduated from Pepperdine and went to the U.S. Sports Academy. I mean, he had a crazy mind. I think he played rugby at BYU, if I remember that right. I mean, he lived life to the fullest in a variety of different ways. He's had a bunch of players drafted, and I know that I'm listing more football accolades at this point. I didn't know Coach Leach personally. I never covered Coach Leach, so there's a lot more people out there that have covered him in Lubbock, Texas, Pullman, Washington, Starkville, Mississippi, Lexington, Kentucky, Norman, Oklahoma, that could speak to things off the field and outside the spectrum at football. But again, we spoke to Chris Beard being the big college basketball story with the arrest, Coach Mike Leach dead at the age of 61. I mean, you look at his track record of coaches, it is insane. Lincoln Riley, Dave Aranda, these are his former assistants. Sonny Cumbie, Dana Holgerson, Seth Luttrell, who beat you when he was at North Texas, Art Briles, Neil Brown, who's at West Virginia, Josh Heupel at Tennessee, Sonny Dykes at TCU, Cliff Kingsbury for the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, that is kind of who has followed him in his coaching tree. That is a crazy list. We always talk about how Frank Broyles had this incredible track record with assistant coaches. Those guys I just mentioned, they're not scrubs. Those are some quality football coaches, and a lot of them learned from one of the most innovative minds in college football history. That would be Mike Leach. And Mississippi State now has a lot of things they have to deal with. They have a new athletics director, which this situation that he has been thrust into, it's not easy. Bracky Brett is the guy name. He's the interim at this point in time. I don't know if he's going to keep that job. I don't know if he's just kind of keep the ship from sinking until they hire a new AD. I'm not familiar with what's going on in Starkville. You've got that developing. You've got the fact that now this football team doesn't have a head coach heading into bowl season. And I know those are minor things relative to the fact that this guy is no longer with us and his family and so many others are heartbroken and suffering. But this is a very difficult thing for an entire fan base to have to go through, who Mississippi State, they really, it seemed like, embraced Coach Leach from his time that he arrived on campus, and now they're going to have to go a new direction as, again, he is no longer with us at the age of 61. You're welcome to call in at 877-377-6963. Text in as well. React to your favorite Mike Leach moment. And, again, there's a lot to choose from, so if you got one that stands out to you, you're more than welcome to chime in here this morning, as we've got one more segment coming up here on the Morning Rush. That will be discussed later in just a second, our SEC update. We will come back to that conversation. Also want to talk about a report that I shared with Tom. Brett McMurphy talking about that Oklahoma and Texas leaving the Big 12 early to join in 2024. This has been discussed and talked about and reported, and the fact that it seems to be getting more traction, I think it's going to end up happening at this point. Also want to let you know, Malik Hornsby is heard for 2 SEC schools. He tells 24/7 Sports. I'll tell you who that is coming up. Plus, it is National Cocoa Day. So for all you cocoa lovers out there, in addition to National Ice Cream Day, I think cocoa is probably better with it being a little colder outside than ice cream. But all that's coming up. Stay with us on the Morning Rush on ESPN Arkansas.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
Don't just survive the holidays, thrive. Treat yourself to a new hot tub to soak away the stress and soreness that comes with the busiest time of the year. With over 8,000 spas sold, no one else matches the sales and service that comes with a Burton hot tub. Burton's has over 80 hot tubs in stock, starting at $34.99, and payments as low as $47 a month with approved credit. Visit Burton Pools and Spas in Springdale and Fort Smith and start hot tubbing right away. Visit BurtonPools.com for all the details.
Joe Klein here for Bet Saracen, Arkansas's favorite sports betting app.
You bet it is, Joe, and football is in the air, which means Bet Saracen has everything you're looking for and more right there on your cell phone.
Now everyone can get in the game and follow your favorite team.
And that's right on the money. If putting down a little wager makes your favorite game a little more exciting, we'll go to the app stores and download Bet Saracen. We even got a demo video to show you how to play.
Or find it at betsaracen.com.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and our lips were all blue. The furnace was out, and our teeth chattered too. Santa and his elves were decking the halls. He shivered and said, "It's cold as snowballs." Never fear, you can call a team of furnace scholars who will tune up your heat for just $69. Call Ashley Air and Plumbing at 479-785-1111. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a warm night.
Picture a can of paint. Now picture a professional painter. Now picture a can of paint from the paint store in Van Buren, perfectly applied by a professional or possibly you. Painting your house could be a pain, and people who think painting as a pain prefer professional paint and pointers from the paint store in Van Buren. The paint store has the best Richards paint and expertly picked colors specifically for you. Need a professional product or a professional? It's the paint store in Van Buren.
State sales tax paid on every pre-owned vehicle on the lot now through Christmas Eve at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Get your state sales tax paid on every pre-owned vehicle now through Christmas Eve at Harry Robinson. You'll save hundreds, even thousands with state sales tax paid. This does not apply to previously negotiated deals. State sales tax paid on every pre-owned vehicle on the lot now through December 24th at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Frank Rowe Furniture December tax-free Christmas sale. Frank Rowe Furniture carries made-in-the-USA furniture, including Catnapper, Jackson, and Best Home Furnishings, just to name a few. Frank Rowe Furniture also carries made-in-the-USA Speed Queen washers and dryers, and December is the month to buy. They have slashed their prices more than ever before and no sales tax. Frank Rowe Furniture wants to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and celebrate our Savior, Jesus Christ. Frank Rowe Furniture, best seats in the house, 405 Fort Street, Farley.
At Southern Tire Mart, we look out for you and your vehicle. Come visit us for America's most trusted brands like Michelin Tires and top-of-the-line service. You can depend on Southern Tire Mart and Michelin Tires to keep you rolling. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith, for Michelin tires that fit your needs and service that cares for you like family.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Real estate investors, are you being underserved and overcharged by your current property managers? Have you ever added up all the charges on your statement? Marshall's Management Group is locally owned.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building or welding experience, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay and a $500 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man. Apply today in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
Dent Source, the leader in auto hail repair for over 20 years. Our certified technicians service all vehicles and offer a lifetime warranty. Dent Source will keep you on the road with a courtesy vehicle and offer free pickup and delivery. Dent Source, now open in Fort Smith.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same.
Every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
Escalade, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
Somebody said we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Ashley Air. Keeping your home comfortable is what they do best. Trust them with your heating and cooling needs. Go to AshleyAir.com to request service today.
This is from Brett McMurphy of the Action Network that it looks like, according to his sources, that Texas and Oklahoma are going to try and leave the Big 12 a year early and join the SEC. Now, he's not the first one to report that. He's not the only one to report that. This looks like it's going to happen. I truly believe that Arkansas is going to be playing one of these schools in 2024. Now, I don't know which one. I know some of you want to play Texas every year. Some of you want to play Oklahoma every single year. And I was talking to a buddy of mine, Tyler McComas, who does sports radio in Norman, this weekend in Tulsa. And it just seems like there's a great opportunity for a good rivalry between the Sooners and the Razorbacks. And there is a little bit. I didn't know it was a thing until I moved to the River Valley. I know a lot of you River Valley Razorbacks hate the Sooners, which I didn't know that was a thing. I remember when I had an Oklahoma thing and Tyler Wilson was like, "What are you doing wearing that?" And I was like, "I didn't think that was a big deal," and got rid of it immediately because he's like, "Yeah, they're not too fond of that there, but it'll be a fun thing." I mean, this Tulsa thing, Tommy said it. We got to keep this thing going. I don't care if it's the Sooners, play Oklahoma State, Kansas State. I mean, I want to keep going to Tulsa. It is, 2 hours from Fayetteville? Nice, easy drive. I mean, Oklahoma fans don't care about going to Tulsa. They get to do that they can do that anytime they want. Arkansas fans, I guess you could, but it's the game. BOK Center is fun. We'll have to wait and see if that continues, but I guess I think the Texas would still win the debate of who you want to play every year. I think it would probably still win, but I just think you got a better chance of a rivalry between Oklahoma and Arkansas than Texas and Arkansas. And I know you still consider the Longhorns a big rival and whatnot, but I got to be honest. So think about this, and this is relative to my age. You beat the brakes off of them in the Cotton Bowl in 2000. Then you beat them on the road in 2003. You should have beat them in 2004. I know Matt still hates how that game ended. You should have beat them in 2004. You got rocked by that national championship team. It was either 2008 or 2009. You beat them in 2014, and you beat them last year. You have a winning record against them in the last 20 years. You think about that. You got a winning record against Texas football in the last 20 years. Basketball-wise, you lost to them at that Air Force El Paso base and whatnot. El Paso base, and then you lost to them in the exhibition game or whatever this year. But I want to play Texas in basketball. And Oklahoma, of course, too. But, again, I think it's going to happen 2024. We spoke to this last segment. If you're just joining us here this morning on a Toyota Tuesday, I have some bad news to share. At the age of 61, Mike Leach passed away last night. Now, again, we're going to be reacting to this on halftime on Ruskin and Zach. I know there's several sound bites that are notable from Coach Leach, but I think that the Mississippi State fan base, in addition to Mike's family, are heartbroken based on the news that developed last night and the fact that he's no longer with us at the age of 61. So prayers out to that fan base and that family. I know that's something that they're going to have to deal with, not just today, but in the coming weeks and months, just recuperating after knowing their head coach has passed away. I had other news for you. I know it's hard to segue from that. Malik Hornsby has heard from Florida and Missouri, according to 24/7 Sports. Malik is a guy that is going to be looked at and sought after by some teams in Division I football. I don't know if he is a Power 5 Division I quarterback. We'll have to wait and see. We've seen flashes of brilliance. We've seen errors, a good chunk of them, and I don't know where he's going to end up. I hope nothing but the best for him. to be quite honest. I don't have this ill will to when guys leave. I mean, he stayed on. He entered the portal, came back, and just had some stellar moments, had some moments that wanted to pull your hair out in this case. But he's moving on. We'll see if it's to another SEC school or where he ends up. That's going to do it for your SEC update. It's brought to you by your friends at Ashley Air. When you need a plumber, call the name you know and trust. It's Ashley Air. The same great people that take care of your heating and cooling system now can take care of your plumbing. Right now, listen to this, $50 off any plumbing repair or get $129 drain cleaning plus a 2-year parts and labor warranty. Restrictions apply. If you got clogged drains, Ashley Air is the one to call. Go to ashley.air.com to schedule your plumbing service today. That's ashley.air.com, proud sponsor of Razorback Athletics. So we'll get to National Cocoa Day coming up because I know that each of you have your specific way of drinking hot cocoa. 'Tis the season. Let's circle back to the big Arkansas football news, which is Dow Loggains going to South Carolina, Trey Knox entering the transfer portal. Trey had 5 touchdowns on the season, slightly under 300 yards. He's a guy that you were counting on, not just in the bowl game, but you were hoping to count on to catch some balls next year. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case. With Justin Stepp, his head recruiter, his former wide receiver coach, being at South Carolina, with his now position coach or his former position coach departing to Columbia, it makes sense if Trey ends up there based on those relationships, based on those connections. I wouldn't be surprised either if he went to some school in Tennessee. I don't know if it would be Tennessee and Josh Heupel, but he is from Murfreesboro. He went to Blackman High School, so don't be surprised if he ends up there. I don't think he's going to Vanderbilt, but if he ends up there, I wouldn't be too shocked as well. So I asked the question to Tom and to Tommy, who's KJ going to throw the ball to? Young freshman, Isaiah Satania, Bryce Stevens, other wide receivers, not Jaden Johnson. Why can I not think of this kid's name? Kid from Texas that coach said in the offseason that no one knows your name, son. I cannot for the life of me think of his name, but they've got a wide open opportunity in front of them. I mean, all of you, I say all of you, a good chunk of you played high school sports or junior high sports or whatever, and a guy in front of you might have gotten injured or someone wasn't able to suit up for suspension, and you grabbed the bull by the horns and you played great. Well, this is a great opportunity for those guys to step up in a situation that they're going to be needed. Go back to the bowl game last year. You thoroughly dominated Penn State in the second half, but if you remember, it was a little tighter than you wanted it to be in that first. You know why? Because Arkansas couldn't throw the football. Now, offensively, they just ran it down Penn State's throat in the second half, and James Franklin and his DC could only watch and get frustrated because they had no players on that side of the football, and Arkansas just grizzly mauled them the entire game. And you hope you can do that against Kansas. But if you can't, then some young wide receivers are going to, it's Jaden Wilson, I think is who I'm thinking of. Some young wide receivers are going to have to step up in the absence of Keytron Jackson, Jade Hazelwood, and now Trey Knox. Haven't heard anything about Matt Landers. I'm expecting him to play in this game. Matt, be the alpha, dude. At points of the season, you were. You made some great plays. Why not do it again in what could be your final game as an Arkansas Razorback? I don't know. Again, I get confused by COVID seniors. I don't know if he has a year of eligibility or not, but it's a good showcase game for you, bud. 4:30, ESPN. If you do have aspirations to pursue the NFL, make you some money. Be the alpha. Catch 10 balls for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. KJ's going to be looking at you more often than not. Be that guy. And Tommy brought this up 2 weeks tomorrow, I guess, because it's the 13th today, the 14th, 28th. Do the math. 14 days. 2 weeks from the bowl game as of tomorrow. It's pretty crazy. It's coming up on us, kind of like Christmas a little bit. You've got a great setup that day, 4:30. We'll have that game. And then also 8 o'clock, LSU on the road in Baton Rouge, first conference basketball game of the season. Now, it's kind of weird not having a midweek game in basketball. The guys have finals, so you won't play till this Saturday against North Little Rock. Bradley is the opponent, not Valparaiso. Who'd they play last year? Hofstra is the team that you lost to, and you were in that rut, and it was not fun. This team, though, I think is going to show out against Bradley. You got 2, and I know Devo was on the team last year, but it's going to be a homecoming party for Nick Smith Jr. and Devontae Davis, and I hope those 2 guys particularly particularly, now I hope the team just blows out Bradley, but those two young men particularly have a great game in a place that is 10, 15 minutes where they grew up. Both those guys are really from Jacksonville, so, I mean, it's right there. It's right there. And maybe you've never been to a game in North Little Rock. Now, I'm not going to sit here and advocate for War Memorial Stadium. I love that place. I love the memories, and it's a decent seats to watch the game. That's actually Coach Leach said that's the loudest place he's ever played. But actually, Simmons Bank Arena, it's a fun place to watch a college basketball game, particularly when Arkansas is going to stuff a lot of fans in there. You got a top 10 team. I know people were kind of perplexed to the fact that you went down from 9 to 10 in the AP poll. Then that's the thing you got to worry about. I think they're sitting at 24 right now. I don't know where Bradley is in the net rankings, but you've got some net ranking games in the coming weeks against conference opponents. Tommy made an excellent point earlier. So you've got back-to-back Bama schools. You play Auburn on the road in the jungle. I think they're top 15 right now. That's January the 7th. And then you follow it up against Alabama at home, who's number 4 in the country right now. That is going to be January the 11th at home. Now, we saw last year, me and Tommy debated about this, and I just gave him credit. I'm going to rib him a little bit. He didn't think there was going to be that many people for Auburn. And I was like, Tommy's going to number 1 team in the country. This will be maybe the best crowd they have all year because it's number 1. And we saw that Kentucky had a great crowd as well. Guys, if Alabama keeps winning, maybe they get into that top 3, top 2. I don't know if they can get all the way up to 1. But that midweek game coming up January the 11th on a Wednesday night, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. Bud Walton is going to be a place this year that you want to be attendance every single game you can. If you've got a buddy or if you have season tickets, you do not want to miss the games this year. Or if you can only watch them on television or listen to them right here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Guys, this team's too fun to watch to miss a game this year. They are. I originally wasn't going to go to Little Rock on Saturday. I had some work to do. Tommy's like, I'm reffing tonight. You go. I'll stay here and do the work. I was thrilled because I don't want to miss a single second of this basketball team this year, especially in person. They have too many guys that make plays that have you jumping up and down in your seat. I'm supposed to be the unbiased media member that just sits there and casually, I don't even know how to describe what I'm supposed to do, but type notes and do that. And it takes every ounce of effort not to just go berserk when you see a Nick Smith, Ricky Council, Devontae Davis highlight reel because they're doing it all the time. This team likes playing together. It's fun. They've got connections with each other that I did not anticipate happening this quickly. I know that Nick and Devontae have known each other from being in the same area and that other guys have formed relationships early on, but it's happened a lot quicker than I think even Eric Musselman expected. They're going to hit some ruts in conference play. We know that. That's pretty standard for teams that compete in college basketball. But I think this team has a shot postseason-wise that you're going to really like where they end up. I'm not ready to say this team's going to Houston just yet, but I sure want to get to that point. It's been a good Toyota Tuesday. Really appreciate all of y'all joining us today. For Tom Murphy and Tommy Kraft as well, who always does a great job. Really appreciate you guys hopping on with us. If you missed our conversations about Mike Leach, Dow Loggins, Trey Knox, Chris Beard, you can find it in the Bud Light Morning Rush podcast. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. For all those guys, I'm Ty Richardson. Y'all have a great day. We'll do it tomorrow on a What's Your Beef Wednesday.
Hey, it's Jan from Toyota, reminding you that Toyotathon is on. And here to help make your holidays extra magical. How? Maybe it's driving in a Tacoma in search of the perfect hill to sled down. Cruising around the neighborhood in a Camry to go caroling. Popping from store to store in a Prius to find the perfect gift.
You did it. How'd you know?
Or it could be something much more simple, like surprising loved ones in a RAV4 hybrid.
You made it! What a surprise! Bobby, you're all grown up!
And seeing their faces light up when you pull up to their home. Stop by Toyotathon and make this holiday one to remember with an exciting new Toyota, like Highlander, Corolla, Tundra,